What kind of wife does an entrepreneur need?
Behind every good man is a great woman. She rocked with me when I was broke. Never said nothing. You don't know when that love between you two is going to become so strong it's unbreakable. It happened with me after the 25th year.
One thing I've seen common among successful people is, if I lost it all today, I'll rebuild it. Bi'idhnillah, I can go and redo it again.
Why is Allah putting me through the challenges that I'm going through with business? The hurt that I went through at that time, I thought it was the worst time of my life. What are the people going to say? But it taught me one thing: life goes on and people will forget how well you treated them. The key to management is having the right people around you and then being able to delegate the right things to those people. My background is real estate. That's all I've done pretty much my whole life. There was no such thing as property management back in 2001 in the GCC. After that, I said, I'll never, ever struggle in the Middle East again or struggle on my hijrah. Why? Because I found what I do, and these people are going to see what my skill set is really like. And since that time, I've been a big fish in a small pond. I'll take something you have, I'll make it better by adding my own sauce to it. And that's why I say sometimes I have the secret sauce. The secret sauce is just...
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abu Abdullah here. Before we get into the podcast, I'd like to welcome you to the Madinah Project, a podcast dedicated to empowering Muslims with financial independence, locational freedom, and a legacy of righteousness bi'idhnillah azza wa jal. We're here to help and inspire Muslims like you to break into tech, real estate, and entrepreneurship, to build businesses that serve the ummah. On this podcast, we highlight Muslim entrepreneurs and their businesses, share with you game-changing insights, and give you the tools to transform your life so you can better serve Allah in your community. If you're ready to take that step with us, all I ask of you is to subscribe to the Madinah Project, share to spread the khair, and join us on this journey where we're building stronger Muslim communities, one project at a time. Brother Haytham.
Yes, bro.
Most people know you as Jamie online, right? For, business, entrepreneurship. But for those who do not know you, who is Haytham?
Haytham Jamie Watkins.
Yes.
Haytham Jamie Watkins is a loving father, a Muslim who's striving to be the best in his religion. At this stage of my life where I see that I'm getting closer to the grave, I'm a philanthropist looking to help as many people as I can before Allah takes my soul. When I look at where I am now, alhamdulillah, I've still been married to the same woman for 25 years, whatever it's been.
Allahumma barik.
Since the beginning. So
Allahumma
I always
barik.
saw brothers divorcing their wives and stuff like that. And I said, man, I'm making it, this is going to be a fact that I do not send this woman back to her father's house, regardless to what happens. I'm not sending her back to her father, right? And like this all goes in line with me doing business and everything. So I'm like, okay, I don't think that this is not the best relationship because I'm a convert, right? So this is my first marriage in Islam, so it's a bit difficult. Only in so that you're like, this is different than when I was a non-Muslim, right? And you're feeling that. You have to be a non-Muslim to feel like, what's the difference? It's a big difference.
Sure.
The first thing I thought is that I wouldn't be able to get over not being with more than one woman, right?
Yeah.
Do you know the day I married her, that feeling went away? I didn't have desires for
somebody else,
for another woman. I was like, what the heck?
Some people cannot understand that, right?
Yo, I had no desires. I'm like, yo, I don't, and this is not the perfect person. And this is a how can I say, this is something that people should listen to. So one guy told me in the masjid, don't even think about divorce. He used to tell the young brothers, don't y'all think about divorce until, he was telling me specifically, don't think about divorce until you've been married 5 years, because he saw the high divorce rate in the community. Okay. And all those little things going around in my head, I'm not divorcing nobody. I'm not going to do what these other brothers do.
Why did he say 5 years though?
I don't know what
his maybe because
was behind that. He was like, look, you're not going to understand and know her for those first 2-3 years.
Yeah.
It's the moonlight stages, right? The first 2 years, you'll know, they call it the 2-year itch, right? That's what they call it. You know if you're going to be with this woman or not, or if this is a person for you, right? And I don't know if that's what he was thinking, but I think he was telling us, be patient.
Right.
You don't know when that muhabbat, that love between you two is going to become so strong, it's unbreakable.
Right.
It happened with me after the 25th year.
Allahu Akbar.
It took me 25 years to understand that this was the perfect woman for me.
Allahu Mubarak.
You get what I'm saying? But I never gave up anyway. In a relationship, no relationship is perfect. But this was a decent relationship. It was a decent relationship. Yeah. But I look at my my newborn son, not newborn, he's 2.5 years old. Never thought I can love a human being, Allah Mubarak, like.
You love him?
Oh my God.
Oof.
If I married her just for him, the marriage is worth it.
This is after 20 plus years?
20 after 20-something years. The marriage is worth it. If it only him, right? But check this out. She rocked with me when I was broke.
I was going to ask you about that.
Never said nothing.
Wow.
We pushing it. All she said, just keep praying. Doing this. Get up. Pray Qiyamul Layl. Encouraging me to continue what I was doing. We're going to get back. My wife used to tell me when I was dead broke, like, especially now we're talking 16 years later now, and I'm in Qatar when they took the business, and she's like, we're on the cusp of greatness. Like, on the cusp of greatness? God just took my multi-million-dollar company, and I'm going to the charity people asking them to help me out. And she was like, we're going to be all right. We're going to never complain. You know what I mean? When she can only go and get groceries, and it was only 200, she can only spend 200 reals. When we were used to spending 1,000, she dealt with the 200 reals. Didn't say anything. You get what I'm saying? And so I told her the other day, I said, you never, see, you forget these jewels that you're getting while you're with the person. I said, you know what? You know why I now do this, and this for you? Alhamdulillah, you here for me to show you the appreciation now. Right? But why do you get it? You get it because if I wasn't with you, I wouldn't be here.
Because she was always there.
She was always there, but that's what was written.
Yeah.
For me to become wealthy with her.
Allah Mubarak.
And with what I thought was issues with just, not even issues, just marriage. It's a marriage, right? And I would always say in my head to anybody, but mainly self, don't leave her because the grass is not greener on the other side.
Never greener.
Just stay in the situation, be patient, and the least that you're going to get, what you can get from this and putting up with the person that you think is a problem, you might get Jannah for going through this challenge for this long. Because what could happen after you divorce a woman? What can happen to the children and all that? We see what happens. Brother, kids go back, they get pregnant, they take off hijab, niqab, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And so
there's destruction that comes with a lot of divorces.
Yeah.
And it's not about just our relationship. It's like you said, it's what happens with the children now. You know what I'm saying? So, subhanallah.
Yeah.
Akhi, Allah Mubarak. I mean, what a great start.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, subhanallah. So I love these conversations because I feel like I just got to know you.
Right.
On a whole nother level. Yeah, because, I mean, truth be told, wallahi, none of the ikhwa that I know around me, I don't know anyone that's been married to their wife for 25 years. I'm talking about, the brothers. I'm not talking about, our fathers and our, I'm talking about the brothers. I don't know anyone. Allah Mubarak. May Allah bless you and your family and increase you, protect your marriages. It's a beautiful thing. And this is the example that all of us should see. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because just like that brother gave you that advice for the 5 years, we all need that discipline and that patience.
Right.
And especially the youth now. How many marriages are breaking? And it's not just in the West, by the way. Same here in the East, in the Muslim lands. Marriage success rate is very low. I heard somebody say it's like 50% end up in divorce. And seems like it. It's crazy.
No, it's true. That's it.
Obviously, you're here. There's that resilience, that grit. No, right? That's over time, because I know your story and other people have already heard your story. So I'm not going to try to repeat everything, right? Bifadlillah. Your wife, your relationship with your wife and having that support system.
Right.
How has that kept you just going? I mean, even when she was in there saying, hey, we got this.
Right.
But how has that kept you going in those other challenging times that she's not even aware of, because you're not going to come to your family and tell her about every single challenge, but you got to deal with it outside.
That's the oxymoron in the relationship, right? Because she doesn't support me really, right? Let me tell you the support she gives me. She's not the one to come up. She'll come up and have the ideas to get me to where I am. She won't execute. She's had $1 million ideas. She just didn't execute them. She started businesses that I took over from her and turned it into something bigger than what it would have been, because I know she would stop it. Her support is not the typical support we're thinking about. Like, she's constantly, she pushes me with her words of encouragement.
Right.
Because at that time, most people were saying, go get a job. Go. Women's like, she's getting nervous. The kids got to go to school. We got to pay school tuition. And I don't want to keep eating this. She never did that. She stayed patient through the whole thing, kept telling me we're on the cusp of greatness. I feel it. And I used to be like, want to grab her. What do you feel that I'm not feeling? I'm not feeling it.
You also want to,
I want to feel what you feeling. She's like, we're on the cusp of greatness. And it's those things. So it wasn't the typical, I'm getting out here, I'm going to grind with you and blah. Nah, it was like, I come home, she's like, you okay? Not beefing, not saying anything to me, not adding fuel, to the fire. I never can remember her doing that.
Isn't this, so for me, this is the greatest support I could get from my wife.
Yeah.
We just did an episode, I don't know if you've seen it, right, with some of the brothers, and we were talking about what kind of wife does a entrepreneur and serial knowledge need. Right?
Yeah.
So for me, as an entrepreneur, and I think that's what I'm hearing from you now, the support you got, is that I need that patience. I need that encouragement, if anything. That's the support I need. I don't need, because, I don't want my wife coming to work with me.
Right.
Like, we're not going to work together, right? Necessarily, right? Like, if there's something, okay, she could help me from the house, schedule my meetings, do something like that, or some other stuff, right, from home, no problem, right? Like one of my, my wife, actually, she helped me with one of my businesses. And actually, until today, she is helping. Bifadlillah Azza wa Jal, right? And I'm saying this on air, but she did, and that's an exception, because she helped when we were in a time when it's not like, hey, come, like, she was like, look, I know I could help you with this, and you're really in need. And that's beautiful to me, because I'm not, like, okay, how can, what can you do? She literally submitted a proposal. Say, here's what I can do to help you out. So now you're helping me from home, my business, and bifadlillah azza wa jal, she did an amazing job. That's the exception, though, and that's not something I will be looking for, right? Necessarily, but the encouragement. That's what I'm saying. So the fact that she was giving me the words of encouragement, not saying go get a job, knowing that you're not get a job.
Yeah, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So how did that, though, in those? Because I know, like, we've known each other for some time now. We've spoken about a lot of stuff. In those moments when you were in those boardrooms, in those meetings, and people trying to chew you up, just like take your business away like that, it happened. Were those words of encouragement playing, like coming back?
I'll say this. I got to take one thing back, because I said she didn't support typically. No, she helped me build some of the biggest brands that still survives today in Qatar. One company we have, BK Sports Academy, after Brooklyn. So we named it BK Sports. Then we had a Lego robotics company called Brooklyn.
I've seen that too. I love that.
Brooklyn. She was a catalyst in that.
Who came up with those names? Those names are dope.
Huh?
Don't tell me she came up with the names.
She came up with the name. There was another young lady in America. BK Sports I came up with, because my whole concept for my new businesses were going to be based on where I was from.
Gotcha.
And they were supposed to represent where I was from. BK Sports being from Brooklyn, bricks, Lego bricks.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn. So it all came together, but she chose the name Brooklyn.
I love that.
And so, and she's the reason why Brooklyn ascended the way that it did, because she's an educator. So she was doing the engineering classes that we were having. She was teaching them and finding the best teachers to teach them in the ECAs in schools, because we were probably in every school in Qatar. at this time. And when I started the sports academy, she was there. She was there. So I can't say she didn't, husbands, sometimes we have convenient amnesia.
Yeah.
Nah, she was there. She was there helping me through the whole thing. So, and those are $1 million companies, that still last today. I have partners who are taking care of them to this day. But those are brands that are synonymous with success in Qatar alone. You know what I mean? So she did support me on that. So, baby, I can't forget that.
Yeah. I think, the support for me, like, subhanAllah, just going back, I know we folks like this was not even the talk, but I love it because we're Muslims at the end of the day.
Right.
And really, like, to give our wives the credits that is due to them, I think it's one of the greatest things we can do. You know what I mean?
Your wife is, look, I hate saying stuff like this, but behind every good man is a great woman.
I believe that.
And for me, that support that you and I are talking about is the result is the success that we have. Whatever they did and however they supported us, we have this kind of success that we have right now. Now, I always looked at younger brothers like yourself, whoever it was. I used to always ask myself, why am I going through these challenges? Why is Allah putting me through the challenges that I'm going through with business? 2016, I had the first I created companies before that, but the sports academy that I started in Doha, Qatar was the epitome. I thought I couldn't get bigger than that.
SubhanAllah.
My lifestyle, what I was doing, I loved it because it was a sports academy. And then under that sports academy, I started making hubs. I reinvented the way that business was done in Qatar with sports academy, sports and education. We had so many programs working with kids from, 8, 9 months up until 12. That pretty much is what we focused on, called childhood fundamentals. Right. And so just creating that, having it taken away from you, not knowing where you're going to turn. She never cried. Everybody else cried around me.
Wow.
People were crying. People were calling me up. One thing about her, and I hate to keep harping on this, it's the last time to talk about it.
We need this.
What she did, right? One of the things, because she's been with me for 25 years, we grew up together. Literally, she was in my home longer than she was in her parents' home. Right? So we grew up together. She knew my husband would do it again. He's Superman. So that confidence, I remember that. I was like, she thinks I can do it again. I can't tell her I can't. I didn't think I could.
So you say she believed
She believed it and I didn't.
That's powerful.
I didn't think I can do it again.
SubhanAllah, on that point, ever wish you could build your own app but don't know how to code? Build Fast is a 60-day AI-powered program where complete beginners build 7 real apps using AI tools like Cursor, Supabase, Cloud Code, and other tools. No experience needed. You learn by doing with expert coaching, a modern tech stack, and career-ready projects all in just 2 months. In fact, in the first 30 days, you'll be able to build and deploy your first app. Only 12 spots in the founding cohort. Link in the description. Apply now before it's too late. One thing I've seen common among successful people, is actually, and I'm sure now, maybe at that point, I'm sure now it's changed because now I know who you are now.
Right.
I know now you believe it. And I think I heard you say it already.
Oh, you can't stop me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Only Allah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you hear this over and over and over. If I lost it all today, Bi-idhnillah azza wa jal, I'll rebuild it. Bi-idhnillah. Of course, the tawfiq min Allah azza wa jal. But because I'm confident in my discipline, commitment, and my work ethics, I know what I did. I can go and redo it again.
That's right.
I'm the one who designed and made this cup.
Right.
Break it. I'll make another one. You know what I'm saying? So I keep hearing this, but subhanAllah, to have a wife, because it's difficult.
Yeah.
For a wife, sometimes, to have that kind of belief and confidence in her husband. I'll tell you, wallah, I have the same. Before the and sometimes she may not even be saying those words to you.
Yeah.
But it's the patience that she exhibits. You know what I'm saying? Being away, like I move a lot. I've been moving a lot.
Right.
You know, traveling a lot, being away from the home, being away from the kids. You have a wife who's holding it together. Your children are well educated. Bifadlillah Azza wa Jal. You're proud of, bifadlillah, you're happy with the offspring that you have. Who's putting in the work? If you didn't have that confidence, like, you know, you mentioned your son that you love so much, imagine you didn't have the confidence that he was in the best hands possible.
Right.
You wouldn't be sitting here just be comfortable chilling and talking because your mind is, you know, consistently there.
Bro, just thinking about you saying this makes me nervous because I thank Allah Azza wa Jal for having my son. But if I wasn't with her, I wouldn't feel this happiness that I feel now.
SubhanAllah.
You get me? I could have made a mistake, bro.
Allah.
I really could have made a mistake and left her.
SubhanAllah.
Right? And not been patient with the situation. First of all, she's more patient than me than I can ever be with her. You know, the patience is really with her. And I truly believe a lot of times we as men, we're the problems. We really are.
Right.
Because we have too many options. And when a man has too many options, he usually chooses the wrong one.
And he may think, he may think the grass is green on the other side.
And it's not. And we do it all the time. And I think a lot of times when you change your threshold, that's when your success has been snatched from you.
SubhanAllah. So then I cannot not ask, what kind of wife does an entrepreneur need? This is the topic of the episode that we did. So I gotta ask you that question.
What kind of wife does an entrepreneur need?
Yeah.
It also, some entrepreneurs are different, right? My younger entrepreneurial self was very agitated, right? I wanted everything perfect. Things had to be like this. It had to be like that. I'm putting my all into the business. When I was building businesses, and I have to go back to Qatar because that's when I became a man in Qatar. That's when I became a true entrepreneur, when I doubted whether I can do it again. And I was saying, if I'm a real businessman, I'll do this again. I'll repeat it. If I don't, I'll go get a job. That is the ultimatum I had with myself, right? And the fact that when they took my company from me and I came downstairs, she was there waiting in the car for me. And I just looked at her. I said, they just took the company. She was like, what? That was it. Wow. That's the kind of wife I need. She's like, what? Like, I'm like, Ma, we're broke. Like, this is it for us now. Like, for me in my head, the fact that she didn't crack, I didn't crack. You can't crack. If your wife ain't cracking, you know, so I stood like a soldier, crying inside like a baby. Like you want to fight. You go through the 7 stages. What they say, the 7 stages of anger, right?
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm like, I want to fight. I want to do this. I want to, of course, you know, as a Muslim, you're not going to hit another Muslim, but this is what's running through your head. Yo, I can't believe this has happened to me. This, that, and the third, while I'm going down the stairs to meet my wife. So I told my wife in that calmness that she's brought to me, I said, take a picture. If anyone goes to my Instagram page, they'll see a picture of me, and she took a picture of my sneakers. She didn't really take a picture of my face, and I just had my hands up like this. And she took a picture. I had a pair of black Pradas on. And whenever I think about I haven't done enough or there's a down period, I look at that picture.
What does that picture symbolize?
2016.
What does it symbolize?
It symbolized that the hurt that I went through at that time, I thought it was the worst time of my life.
SubhanAllah.
Because I was helping so much. I was supporting, I had a staff of maybe 60, 70 people.
Wow.
And I was supporting them, right? I had family back in America and other places. I was supporting them. I was the person that you can call up, Haytham, I'm sending my kid over to you to Qatar. Can you give him a summer youth job? Give him a job for the summer. I was that guy. You know, what are the people going to say? When I look at it, that's what I'm thinking. What were the people saying at this point? I remember one brother saying, what? Brother Ismail Bass, BJJ, he's well known in the BJJ community. He said, Haytham, when you lost that sports academy, he said, I felt like I was finished.
Wow.
this is your friend. He's just the BJ. He's doing the BJJ. He was making good money.
He said that about himself.
About it, so he said, I thought I was finished. I said, because he was like, this is my guy. This is the guy who knows how to put it all together. As long as I'm with him, he's going to make it work. I'm going to make money as long as I'm with Haytham. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was confident of that, me as a friend of his, that he's always with me. And we'll continue to make this money together. And his world just crumbled after that. I mean, he continued to do it, but ultimately something had happened with him as well, with SFQ Sports Academy, because they were trying to remove everybody that I brought in. But and eventually he met the same demise. But you know, when he said that to me, I knew how what I was doing was affecting
him
the
and
people in my community.
Right.
Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah that was in Qatar.
No.
Everybody child had a job in the summertime. If the guy was suffering, he had a job with me. So we had built that kind of community. During Eid, we were doing the Eid celebrations and everything. Bouncy castles, balloons, everything you're supposed to do for your community when you're looking at yourself as a patriarch of that small community that we were in Doha. So man, them taking it from me affected a lot of people, but it taught me one thing: life goes on, people move on. You were just there for a day, and people will forget very easily how well you treated them.
That loss happened in a blink of an eye.
In a blink of an eye.
How long did it take you to realize that life does go on? Because obviously, I mean, that's something you built from the ground up. To lose all of that, how, like, there has to be a phase, generally speaking, before you're like, okay, you know what?
That probably the next day.
Wow.
I knew I had to keep moving. I can't wait. It's gone.
SubhanAllah.
You know, and you're dealing with a powerful individual. It might not be a good idea to go to court with it. I need to rebuild, and I have no time to cry over what has happened to me. You get what I'm saying? And being a brother from Brooklyn, New York, like, if I survive Brooklyn, New York, I can survive any war and any issues between me and another man.
Right.
You know, because I came from the mud. Right. Literally.
You know, as I was listening earlier, talking about what happened, I'm thinking, if you're from just New York City, but you're from Brooklyn, New York, there's resilience that's built into you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you don't, that's there unless you decide to throw it away.
Right.
And that's, you know, a side benefit we get, you know, for having that experience. Not that we gratify it, not that we say, you know, but it is what it is, you know?
That's right.
You know, experience is the best teacher, right?
Right.
So I want to, you know, I want to get to where we are now and what's the future plans, right? But like I've heard Steve Jobs say, if you don't, you know, you cannot connect the dots looking forward, so you got to look backwards. Wow. So talk me through what happened before Qatar. You know, what was your journey that led you to Qatar?
Well, I was in America. I wanted to make hijrah. Mustafa George, Dawood Adib, they were big. You know, all of them.
Yeah.
They were big on making hijrah. So when they were giving classes, they were always giving classes in regards to making hijrah and things like this. And I was a bit of a nutcase prior to Islam, right? And so after I was rehabilitated, I would say, I was just on the straight and narrow, right? After I became Muslim, it was it for me. No more streets, right? And so what had happened is that I go in already with a maverick kind of attitude. I'm a trailblazer. I'm a leader. You get what I'm saying? So I will do what people talk about. So I heard people, I'm going to make hijrah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I had achieved now at this point, I was working in corporate America. I was doing very well. I'm trying to practice my religion. I felt like at that point I had achieved everything in America. This is back in 99, 2000.
Wow.
That's how I achieved everything that I wanted to achieve. Family was proud of me, and the man that I have become. I was married, waiting on my second child, and I said, I remember talking to Khalil, uh, Khalil Carter, and I said, Khalil, what is it like in Egypt? And he said, man, it's peaceful. I'm studying. I'm learning my religion, and that's all that's important to me. Everything else, I'm not paying attention, but I can relax. That's what he said. Mustafa George told me, he said, Saudi is nothing like it. It's just a peaceful place. I said, should I just make hijrah? Go, just go. This is what Mustafa George and Khalil had told me. So I saved up $10,000 thinking that I had enough. I said, look, I'm going to save up $10,000. It'll probably take me a year to save it up, and I'm going to leave. I saved that money up in 6 months. I looked at her brother Jamil. I was like, Jamil, I saved up to 10K. He said, get out of here. I got my tickets and we went to Morocco.
I didn't know
first trip was in Morocco. So we stayed in Morocco for a little while. Figured out you're not going to live on $10,000 in Morocco. Money's getting short.
Yeah.
And I'm buying things from the souk, leather jackets, leather bags, taking it back to America, selling it.
Wow.
Like only when we went back to America, because my hijrah was not going to involve running back and forth working. That is not what I wanted. I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm staying on hijrah. This has to become my hijrah. I looked at my hijrah through the eyes of an immigrant. Like an immigrant goes to America and sees opportunities. I felt like my hijrah had to be looked at like that to explore all the opportunities. If I looked at it like I can go back to America and work, then that hijrah is not going to work for me.
Right.
Work is where I am.
For sure.
Not going backwards, right? And so even though Morocco to this day is the best country I've ever lived in terms of overall, I'm still a fan of the UAE overall, with living here. But Morocco, living there and dealing with the people, there's nothing like that. I've never had that feeling. But anyway, I left here, went to Egypt. I was able to, my wife got a job in Egypt. So she was working. Okay, so now there's an income in. I'm working in a school and I'm playing basketball. So there's two incomes. I was playing professional basketball there. So now there's two incomes coming through. And it was a good experience. You know, Egypt was a decent experience. But I wanted to get out of there. I was like, okay, Saudi has to be the next spot. And alhamdulillah, with a lot of dua, I was able to I spent the year in Egypt, and I was able to get to Saudi Arabia.
Inshallah.
And, you know, my background is real estate. That's all I've done pretty much my whole life. There was no such thing as property management back in 2000, 2001 in the GCC. That didn't exist.
Is that what you did in Saudi?
Huh?
Is that what you did in Saudi?
No, in Saudi, I was a principal in a school. I worked in an international school in Jeddah. I was a principal. I also worked up in Taif. I was teaching there. Also in Jeddah, I worked as a general manager in a company called Sahari Tabreed that produce freezers for trucks and supermarkets. And the reason I'm telling you this is that everything I learned in America from a managerial standpoint helped me each phase of my life to be able to manage people, companies. And I knew nothing about being a principal in a school.
So I was going to ask, how did that?
Yeah, I became a principal in the school because a guy sat with me for a while. I was teaching there and he sat with me and he was like, man, you could do this job. You can be a principal here. Became a principal in the school, turned the school around.
Allah about it.
Turned the school around.
People management skills.
Yes.
Gave you, you were able to transition into another role that, though it sounds different, but it's really people management.
The key to management is having the right people around you and then being able to delegate the right things to those people. I can delegate something to the janitor. You can't teach.
Right.
Right? And giving a teacher a broom, she can't sweep or mop. You know what I mean? So I made sure that I put everybody in the positions they needed to be in. And they were my foundations, and we were able to really turn the school around in terms of the scores for the students, the behavioral problems that they were having. And then I had a brother with me that he came and he was working with me, and he was my backbone. He really helped me turn the school around. So I had a good team, and that also taught me, teamwork makes the dream work, right? So I learned a lot on my journeys. On this hijrah.
What made you transition from Saudi to Qatar?
I didn't. I came to Dubai in 2008.
Okay, I heard you tell this story.
I came to Dubai. Why? It was the first time it was the first time in the GCC they were talking about property management on that scale, right?
You wanted to explore that.
So I came here and I started working with Dubai World, which is a semi-government company here. And I worked with their property management arm, Limitless. So I was back in my bag after that, So after that, I said, I'll never, ever struggle in the Middle East again. Or struggle on my hijrah. Why? Because I found what I do, and these people are going to see what my skill set is really like. And since that time, I've been a big fish in a small pond when it came to this real estate thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because, okay, so you come here 2008. You go into what you love to do, what you want to do.
Property management.
Yeah. When then you transition to Qatar, you go into the sports, which is already something.
I went to Qatar. I was headhunted by a government company in Qatar first.
And
I was still in property management. I was the general manager for properties and the largest development in the GCC. I was managing it in Qatar.
So how did that go? How did you? So same thing to BK Sports.
So then what happened was when I was working for this government company, I went for an interview with a sheikh there. He was the ruler's brother at that time. He was Hamid's brother. And so I went and I started working with him. They hired me there. And I was the general manager of all his properties. And had a great relationship with them. Treated me like a son, really treated me like a son.
I did hear you say this before.
So he had all these properties, and he had all these basketball courts and the football fields and soccer fields, like tennis courts. And I'm like, you guys aren't doing anything with this? It took me back to Brooklyn, and I could do something with all of this empty space, right? And these unused facilities. So I went to his son. I said, look, I want to start a sports academy. And I'm going to put it in the name of your father, just honoring him because I like him so much. And I'm going to name it SFQ Sports Academy, Sheikh Faisal bin Qasim Sports Academy. He said, I think this is a great idea. And we just exploded after that. It exploded. It became the number one, the second biggest sports academy in Doha within 2 years. And once it was taken from us, we were number one in the market after 4 years.
So is that the same one that transitioned into BK Sports?
Well, it didn't transition. When they took SFQ Sports Academy from me, I opened up BK Sports later because I didn't have any money.
That was another one.
That was another one. And now it's the number one.
I was confused about this all this time, all these years.
SFQ was one. It was the biggest at one point back in 2016. It's still running. They're just not they're not doing anything because I'm not there, of course. But it was 2016 that reign ended. I started SFQ Sports Academy, was there for 4 years, and that's when they took it. Then after SFQ, I had a little I was trying things here and there because I didn't have the funds to start anything. And so I was able to start BK Sports in between all of that.
SubhanAllah, this whole time I was thinking it was BK Sports that got taken. And then, but now that makes a lot of sense.
And I have to give props to the person who helped me make BK Sports. The Prime Minister of Qatar, his wife.
Wow.
Right? Sheikha Maryam. I got to give her the greatest, probably one of the best women I've ever met in my life in terms of her generosity. It is because of her, Allah put her in place for me to I'm here now because she was a vehicle that helped me when I was in Qatar. We did a business. The business didn't work out that well, but I came out with flying colors out of that business. Even though it didn't work out, I excelled from that business when she backed out of the business. But I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for her putting her time and her money behind some of my ventures that I did. So Sheikha Maryam, may Allah increase her. And because you hear a lot of stories about people, Shiyuk, Sheikha, Sheikha and a Sheikh. That family is one of the greatest. The Prime Minister and his wife are some of the greatest people that you would ever know in your life that you can meet. Genuine. Let me into their home. So that's different. I mean, literally let me into their home.
A young man from Brooklyn.
Huh?
A young man
from Brooklyn. So, that I always leave her out, but wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her.
I'm getting to know you a lot more. Alhamdulillah. Subhanallah, this whole journey, akhi, now that we've gone through this whole journey, and I hope the listeners are actually picking up things I didn't pick up before, because I've spoken to you before. Some things I'm picking up I didn't pick up before. But now I'm able to connect a lot of dots before Allah Azza wa Jal. You lose the first academy.
Right.
But your experience, your knowledge, the connections and network, before Allah, because you just gave the Sheikh the credit, may Allah reward her, you open another one before Allah Azza wa Jal, right? Because the lesson I kind of want to deduce from that is, once you've done it, it could all be taken away from you one way or another.
Right.
But it's like being knocked down. What do you do? You can stay down, or you can get up with confidence and know you can do it again. And that's what
this is it. I mean, I think, and once you're in it, it's like once a runner starts running and he gets heated, he stays at a pace where he's in a zone. And it's like the same thing with businessmen. You get into a zone where you cannot be agitated once you're in that zone, and no one can poke at you and stop you from doing. You're oblivious to what's going on outside. Once you get in that zone, and that's how I am now.
Long about it.
I'm so focused on. Then I was focused. Now I've never had this kind of focus in my life in terms of doing business, and I've never had this kind of life since I've become a much more mature businessman.
It's interesting, and I've seen, and a lot of people, Allahumma barak, have seen, Allah, bless you and preserve you, have seen this journey, recent journey that you've been on. Right? We can go back, let's say 6 to 12 months at least. Let me go very close, right? I believe that from what I'm seeing, Allahu Alam, you know what you're doing. But from what I'm seeing and what others are seeing, that you're building something amazing bi fadlillah azza wa jal. And I'm hearing, we're hearing stories. Like, it's a tight circle, right? You're going to hear really, like, brothers come to me sometimes say amazing stuff. One brother knew I was here, or I was coming here. He's like, do you know Jamie? I said, I'm going to be, probably I'm going to see him, because someone. At first he's like, before I responded, he's like, do you know him? If you don't know him, you definitely want to connect with him. And if you see him, give him my salam.
My brother,
give him my salam, right? I said, this is his brother, his name is Ayub. You probably know from Canada.
Of course I know Ayub. Ayub.
He's at the University of Madinah.
He's at the university.
Yeah. So he said, give him salam. So I'm conveying the salam. Jazakallah khairan. So, salam alaikum, guys. If you're looking to get into tech, real estate, entrepreneurship, or simply make hijrah, let's connect. Click the link below to speak with me, and I'll help you scale exponentially and fast track that process for you. And now let's get back to the podcast. That transition between Qatar to now coming back to the UAE. I don't want to say getting back into real estate or continuing. What happened without, what was that transition in between to you now finding the sweet spot? Because I believe you found it, to be honest. And Allah knows best.
Right. When I came over, again, I'm gonna always be a big fish in a small pond. I truly believe that this is all from Allah, right? First of all, 27 years in the real estate game. I've made predictions about real estate. If people look at some of my stuff on IG, that analysts and professionals couldn't even figure it out, And then they're coming back to me now and saying, sorry, you were right. You know, about the real estate market and what's going to happen in the next 18 months, 24 months, these laws, this laws. And everybody always come back to me and say, this is 28 years, 27 years of experience. That's all that it is I'm not a genius. And I don't even study analytics. I don't look at analytics because I'm boots on the ground, right? And when you're boots on the ground, you see everything. You're like a bird hovering over the earth, right?
Yeah.
The bird sees way more than what we see, right?
Bird's eye view.
He got a bird's eye view and everything looks small. And that's how I look at competitors when I'm doing business. Like, he's so small. Even when he's bigger than me, he's so small. He doesn't think like me. I think better than him. I'm on another level. You have that because you have money. You're big because it was from luck, right? So I'm looking at everybody and I'm seeing what they're doing. A lot of them are doing the right thing. I take what you're doing right and I make it better. I'm like from China. You know what I mean? And I'll take something you have, I'll make it better. I'll add by adding my own sauce to it. And that's why I say sometimes I have the secret sauce. The secret sauce is just when you think that you have it all, here I come. And that's what happens with a lot of businessmen, right? No one is going to outwork me. You're not going to be more resilient than me. I haven't found anyone yet in my field that has the ability to go further than me. Some people are just not willing to go that far. I am. So far that you find me in Satwa, chilling out with Asians and
you're going to areas buildings. People are not going.
You're not going there. You know you're not. You know you're not. And I brought people on and say, look, I want to learn what you're doing. As soon as I take them to those areas, they're like, okay, how can I get into a group investment with you? I'm not going to be trying to manage this kind of real estate. So I'm willing to do what you're not. And once that I found that, oh, you guys don't want to do this, here's my sweet spot.
Yeah.
You're not going there because you don't really want to get your hands dirty. Like I said before, most people are lazy. You really don't want to be an entrepreneur. You really don't. It sounds good. But you don't want to put in the sleepless nights, the sleeping in your office, the losing your family, going broke, because you will. In your journey as an entrepreneur, all those challenges that you never wanted to face as an adult, you will face all of those challenges. If you're not ready for those challenges that you deem only people impoverished people go through, sometimes going through in this journey, you go through problems with the law. You don't want to go through this. You can't. You're not made for this. You're really not built for this. In your journey of trying to make money, you might get a bounce check. If you're in the GCC, that bounce check can put a ban on you.
That's right.
It can get you put in jail.
Yeah.
You're not ready for this. You're not ready for this, right? And I can travel and I can do everything that a free entrepreneur can do anywhere in the world, which means I don't do bounce checks, but it has happened in the past. So don't think this is not going to come.
Yeah.
I haven't always been able to eat what I wanted to eat. I can now.
Alhamdulillah.
And so many other. Man, I remember when I couldn't even go to the gym and I had to work out in the park. As a businessman, and nobody knew that I was struggling.
Yeah.
And I'm in the park because I couldn't afford the gym membership.
SubhanAllah.
You know, now, the transition and why am I here now and I found that sweet spot? Wallahi, Allah is a witness to what I'm saying. I made an oath to myself one day that I'm going to stop sinning.
SubhanAllah.
I'm going to lower my gaze when I see women. This is Allah is a witness to what I'm saying. I'm not going to deal with anything that I have shak about. There's all the things that we know we shouldn't be doing as Muslims. And for those who are not Muslims, just as people, right? So I'm not doing that anymore. And Allah, if you make me rich, I'm going to give a lot to charity. I'm on 4 or 5 buildings now. We've done over 3-4 million. Just this year we did 2 million, and we're only in February. dollars,
Allahumma
not
barik.
dirhams. This is from Allah.
Allahumma barik.
This played a role because Allah put me in a position after 27 years. It was all written for me to get here, make my oath to Allah that I'm going to stop doing these things. Whatever it is, I'm going to stick to the Quran and the Sunnah. I'm going to make sure that I go to the masjid, try not to miss my prayers in the masjid. And now I'm here. So this is from, not only that, I've made dua for what I have. Everything I have, I've made dua for this. And Allah blessed me with it. But it was also written that I would do the things that would make me deserve this. And I'm not saying I'm deserving of this. I'm a sinner. I'm like everybody else. I'm not perfect.
No.
But it's just certain things that I just stopped doing. And Allah, I was going to get here. Allah speeded up the process.
Wow.
You know, if I was going to get here, I was traveling at 100 miles an hour, and Allah made it where it was like I traveled at the speed of light. You know?
So what I just heard there is there's verses of the Quran I generally remind myself and ask Allah for tawfiq to be able to always remember this, sincerely and genuinely, and apply it. And I try to actually always mention it on these episodes. And you just brought it out, subhanallah. Literally, without me saying anything. And what are these verses? Allah says in the Quran, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whoever fears Allah, He will make a way out for him out of every difficulty, out of every situation.
That's right.
وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ. And He will provide for him from where he couldn't even imagine.
From sustenance, from sources he couldn't even imagine.
But the condition is that taqwa. Giving up sins, making that intention that, Ya Allah, look, we all, كل بني آدم خطاء, we all make mistakes, we all sin. But to be conscious, to say, you know what, I'm going to stop this and this and this. And in fact, not only that, bi'idhnillah, I'll also do good.
Right.
To me, that's embodied in these ayats. Because then, وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. Whoever put their trust in Allah Azza wa Jal, He will suffice them. And whoever Allah suffices, what do you need? You don't need nothing, you don't need no one. Right? This is a guarantee, by the way. And Allah Azza wa Jal never breaks a promise.
Nah.
So to me, like, subhanallah, that's what I just heard. You literally made that niyyah, that intention, and made that commitment to Allah Azza wa Jal for yourself.
Right.
That this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
And you've seen the fruits of that already.
And here's the crazy part about it. All the things that, think about it, the average man, why he wants to get rich. Right? He has to question himself. It's not to show off in front of my brother or Brother Sufyan. It's not really. What is your true intention of making money and becoming wealthy? Is it to give more sadaqah? Is it so that you can hold on to that money so that you can give zakat and feel good about it? Is it to build a masjid? Is it to do things that is going to get you sadaqah jariyah? What is it for? The average man, let's stop fooling yourselves. You do this because of the love of riyah, showing off, and for women. Astaghfirullah. This is why we do it. So I think a lot of us have to reinvent ourselves and just come back. Some brothers, they practicing, but they're no, I shouldn't say deluded, but they're distracted.
Distracted.
They're distracted.
By what?
By a lot of things that they shouldn't be distracted by, and they can't come out of it. It's the sad part. I know I've been there. You can't come out of it. And so you start doing the little sins, and then you start doing the ma'asi kaba'ir. You start doing those big sins, right?
Which causes destruction.
And it's the reason why your wealth is being withheld from you.
SubhanAllah.
You get what I'm saying? The only thing that I can think that, because look, your wealth can be a punishment, or it can be a curse, or it can be a blessing for you. I hope that what Allah is giving me now, this is to encourage the people to good. You get me? Like really, here was the biggest problem for me I had to deal with. When the money started coming in, and I literally told my daughters, I was talking to my daughters one day, I said, I don't know what to do with this money. I really don't. It was that's how it was coming in. That was a good thing. because I could go and buy more cars.
What's a good thing? Telling them this?
It was a good thing for me to reflect on this. And it was a conversation that just an intimate conversation I was having with my kids. And they were joking. They said, well, if you ain't got nothing, give it to us. And we were joking. And then I was like, wow, I really don't have anything to spend this money on except taking my kids out to eat. Doing sadaqah to the family is the best sadaqah, of course, right? Helping the family out, which is something that I consistently do. Especially my mom, she's dead, especially for my aunts, right? Who are the closest and the ones I should be looking
good
at.
To her.
Yeah. Try.
Yeah.
You know? So it's certain things that I wasn't doing before, certain things that's from our sunnah that I do now. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying that once I made that intention, the majority of the things I said I'm going to do, it became a habit in my life. It's a lifestyle now for me. But here's the thing. Once I started doing it and thinking more about Allah Azza wa Jal, it meant less to me, but Allah gave me more.
SubhanAllah. Because it's in your hands, it's not in your heart.
And you don't need it.
Yeah.
How much money do you need? How I'll tell you things I like. I like big houses and I like cars.
Yeah. Most people.
Like most people.
Yeah.
And I will not get more than one.
Because you don't need more than that.
You don't.
It's like I used to hear growing up, subhanAllah. Even now I hear my mother sometimes, they say, no matter how big your home is, you're only going to sleep in one room.
That's right.
No matter how big your bed is, you're only going to sleep on one spot because that's it. That's all you need at the end of the day.
Yeah, and the key for me, I'm happy.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm happy and I don't need times of euphoria and dips. I'm content.
Alhamdulillah.
You know, I'm content with my life. I'm content with what I'm doing. And that is the most important thing. You know, being happy and content, nothing beats that. Not having this, it's okay. So we have money now. So not having the desire to run out and get another wife or deal with women or get excited, because that's our biggest fitna. With brothers, that's where most of their money is going.
The distraction.
The distractions, the places you shouldn't be, the people you shouldn't be around. That's where your money goes most of the time, right? So your money goes to those distractions that I won't even mention, right?
And what you just mentioned now, for example, like if a person is tested, let's say, with desire, and this is the beauty of Islam, and this is something that, walillah alhamd, we unapologetic about. Bifadlillah, it's the best way of life. If you're distracted by women, as a man, Allah Azza wa Jal has given you a solution.
That's right.
Do it the right way, right? Do it the halal way. Get married.
We're living in a time where people can't do that now. They can't do it anymore. You and I both hear the stories. You know, we have gone away from the basics. Right? And I can't speak for everybody. I'm just saying, I see it with my own eyes. You know, and sometimes a brother will come to me and say, this is, again, Allah, he's a witness to what I'm saying. Brother will come to me and say, Haytham, I need your help with, you don't need my help. You need Allah's help. I'm watching you. I see what you do. It's not me. All you have to do is go back and we'll be together talking, about whatever it is Allah has given me, He's going to give you as well. You just too caught up in the distractions that are out there. And brothers people in general, they get so deluded by the distractions till they don't even realize that the people see it. And that's when it's really bad. When I see it, when I see why you're hasana, why you're there's no barakah. I see it. If it was you looking at me, and you'll be able to see it like, hey, this is why you might be having those issues you're having in business.
A person got to first rectify their relationship
he has to
with Allah Azza wa Jal.
That's what I did.
That's what each and everyone
has
to do. If you want success,
you know what I
Muslim.
mean? I know there's people, bro, they're going to die broke.
Yeah,
they're going to die broke.
Because they're not rectifying the relationship between Allah
and also that's what Allah had written for them.
Right.
This is qadr.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but bro, that doesn't mean don't try.
Right.
We have to try.
The risk
You know,
is written.
your risk
right?
is two things that's going to catch you in this life, right?
Risk and moats.
And your death. That's right.
Yeah.
Your sustenance and death. Those are the two things that
Can
are
I
written for
escape?
you. You can't escape them.
Again, rectify your relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal.
That's the basis
Hmm.
when you're doing business.
No.
When you go out, rectify yourself with Allah first, hit the ground running.
Right.
Whatever you don't get, you weren't supposed to get it. As whatever was meant for you won't miss you.
Barakallah feek. Wallahi, powerful.
About it.
This is, you know, these podcasts as we discuss business as Muslims always goes back to our religion.
Yeah,
It always goes back to the reason, the purpose as to why we created. Because each one of us is a man on a mission, right? We're on a mission. But we cannot forget the primary reason of our existence, which is to worship Allah. And everything He's blessed us with is supposed to be a means and a tool to aid in facilitating that worship, including a wife and children, and everything else. Right? Because we were not created just to marry and have kids or work and no.
That's right.
وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah Azza wa Jalla did not create, the mankind and the jinn kind except to worship Him.
Yeah.
So if we talk entrepreneurship, we talk business, but at the core of it is our religion, because that's what we're living for. And at the end of the day, like you just said, now we will die anyway. We're going to die. We're going to meet our Lord. It's only going to be two destinations. What are we preparing for? So a person has to always go back and ask themselves, what's my purpose? What's my why? Know why you're here. Know what's your ultimate goal, which has to be Jannatul Firdaus.
That's right.
And then do all these things, make sure they're in alignment with that.
That's right. That's
right.
Right.
And that's what I just heard. Like, you came to a point where you had to say to yourself, look, I got to rectify this and this and this in my journey towards the end.
Because if you don't get it, it's not because of that.
Sahih.
It's the process of elimination. Am I being punished? Is this why I can't get up for Fajr? Is this why I can't get the job that I want, or these deals are not going through? You get what I'm saying? And so someone may say, and let's go to this. Well, we see all these rich people doing wrong. Allah, that's His punishment. His money is His punishment.
Yeah.
We don't want that. Don't even compare me to a rapper, an actor, or someone out there dealing with these worldly things. His punishment is his money. And that's why Allah has given it to him as a punishment for him he's blind. But the Muslim like us, we have to have our eyes open. And the basis for me was to go back to Allah and His Rasul, rectify my situation with my religion first, and then get on, like I said, with my journey. And that's what's worked for me. It's not rocket science. Not only that, Allah has put something in my heart I've never felt before. The confidence that this will never leave me.
SubhanAllah.
If I go broke, if this was taken from me, bro, I could do it again. I'll be into something else. I never thought I'll be in subletting. How the heck did I get here?
Let's talk about it, because I believe, and I've heard you speak about it, both in person and through the interviews, and I believe this is something that you've definitely, like I said, it's your sweet spot. That's what I believe, right? And I see that you see there's passion in it, there's opportunity. And it's not just the business side, right? Because I've heard some of the things that you've done in that space and what you're doing from you. But also, again, people talk. I've heard someone, like one of the brothers, Bifadlillah Azza wa Jal, we were in a ride, driving together somewhere, and he was just speaking about some of the things that you've done for other people in this space, right? And you put it out there, so that's why we're talking about it, right? Let's talk about the subletting. What led you to that, and why do you believe this is it?
Because with the subletting in 2000, up until 2024, it was illegal to do subletting.
SubhanAllah.
So I would see shared space and all over the city, since 2008. Since 2008, when I first came here, there was subletting going on, people doing shared bed space and all sorts of partitioning and all of this stuff. Until now, partitioning is not legal, but the subletting was not legal. the law came into place in 2024, January 2024, that it was legal. So I've always known about it, even as a property manager. I was like, man, I'm going to do that. I would love to do it. But since it was illegal, I wouldn't touch it. Right? When I knew that it was coming into, it was going to become legal, January 2024, I did a video in December 2023, and I challenged myself. I said, I'll make $1 million and I'll have 10 villas within 1 year. That's when I really started. At that point, people will see, I think a few months later is when I started saying, look, if for me to be successful, I think I need to get tighter with Allah. And then you start seeing an ascension. You can see it. Right? You know? SubhanAllah.
May Allah bless it. May Allah bless it, akhi. May Allah bless what you're doing, preserve it and increase it.
You can see the ascension.
Alhamdulillah.
From the top. So then I promised Allah. And what I was going to do. Alhamdulillah.
Allah preserve you upon that.
Ameen.
And bless what He has blessed you with. And not take away, subhanAllah. When we dive into these things, if it doesn't make us emotional, then we have to check our hearts.
Ameen.
Because the blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal are too great to quantify.
Yes.
Too great to quantify. And, I want to ask, I do want to say, just so that the people can hear from you, what's causing that emotion to come out? I want to ask that, and you can answer, but I know that there's a feeling in your heart, because I feel it, that you could not even explain to anybody.
Yeah.
They couldn't understand. And if maybe they understood, someone would want to rob that away if it could.
Right.
Because that's happiness. That's contentment.
So many things. Just to be the age that I am now, over 50, and I'm just learning.
Allah Azza wa Jal grant you long life upon ta'ah.
And some people die, and they die before reaching that maturity as a Muslim, and also getting a part of this dunya, which is important to us because of the people we can help. And Allah put me in a position to really help people. It's been something that I've always wanted to put people in a position and not take it from them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you see a young lady, if you don't help her, she may be on the street, so she may have to get a boyfriend to go and get her a pop. So we give it to her for free, so that she's not subjected to the streets. And so many things happen all too often, but the crying is tears of joy because Allah has put me in a position to get the hasanat and the barakah at a time when my heart is right. I know my heart is right and my intentions are always good for the people, And so, like I said, the tears of joy because it could be done for people to see. People don't know what I'm doing until they ask me.
And sometimes, I'm sorry to cut you off. SubhanAllah. I know you're doing this. And may Allah Azza wa Jal reward you with the best of rewards for dunya wal akhirah.
Allah knows me better.
Sometimes when people are doing good, I'm talking about good, that is not just putting money in the sadaqah box.
Right.
But in fact, when you're impacting people's lives, but people who are in the most vulnerable situations, and that's even put outside, people are skeptical. SubhanAllah. Like I said, when I was on this ride with the brother, and he mentioned to me, the story that he mentioned to me, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. SubhanAllah, for years since I've been coming here, and Allah's a witness to what I'm saying as well. Every single time I said I was coming to the UAE, this is before you were doing this.
Right.
You always said to me, Akhi, I got a place. Come stay here. You know? So for me now, seeing this, and you're doing this for women who need help. And by the way, for those who think this is the UAE, this is a GCC, there are no people who need this kind of help. Everybody's good.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
They don't know the reality on the ground. And we're talking about Muslim women.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
Majority.
there's families, but
Majority.
there's many Muslim women in these situations. And some of them are muhajirin. And I understand that that's actually a focus of yours, especially if somebody's making hijrah.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that maybe a bit?
Yeah. If a sister's making hijrah, you know, I always say this, trying to stay away from her and not having a mahram. She's here now.
No.
So we won't go into that.
She's allowed to, by the way, travel on her own for hijrah. That's what some people forget.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah.
So we'll give her 3 months housing for free. If it extends past that, we'll extend it. You know, but most people that we help, they get into these houses with these women, and these women become resources for each other, and they end up finding a job, or they start paying rent on their own, but it never stays the same for 3 months.
I have a lot of questions on this. First and foremost, how are you able to do this? And secondly, because I'm sure this is the question that people will have, right? I mean, I have that question. It's the UAE. It's expensive. You know? From one angle, I know, because when you do good, Allah Azza wa Jal will provide from ways you couldn't even understand.
Yeah, well, for those villas, bro, I mean, people don't know. I lose money on them. You know, we operate in the red. One of them we operate in the red. The other one makes us a very small amount. So it makes up for the other one that we operate in the red for, but it's needed. You have to have it. And you won't know until you're in the business and dealing, because we get women, they move in, and literally we probably got the highest retention rate. They stay, they don't leave, you know.
Because they came in, they got the help.
They feel like, you'll just hear stories like, it feels safe. I feel safe here. I like the women here. It's just everything, that camaraderie, that the partnerships, the friendships that you probably never thought you would have, it develops in this villa, and this is what we wanted. You know, and so things are cultivated in the villa that you have problems, of course. You know, you may have 10, 11 women living together. You know, but in the end, it's all worth it.
So what's knowing that, okay, you're an entrepreneur, and when you started this, you started as a business, right? For yourself, no. But knowing that you're operating on the red sometimes, or barely making things for those, what makes you keep going forward with that?
Oh, because the more I operate in the red, the more Allah bless the other parts of the business. So as long as I'm operating over here, Allah sees me in a deficit. So I'm not. It's just like when people look. When people hear that you're making an effort to do something, people want to do business with you. So it increases, and I didn't realize that until later on, but a lot of people, especially women, have invested with me once they heard about the all-women's shelter, you know? So when people hear this stuff, man, they just like, yo, man, and I hate, man, I'm a crybaby, bro. But when they hear this stuff, they just, they want to help. They want to help, you know? And it's just stuff like this. I really don't like talking about it, you know, but...
Akhi, we got to put it out there, because the people,
myself, you know?
I know, but barakallah feek, akhi, you know, sometimes, and even us doing this, like, it took me so long to be in front of the camera and talking about this. But there's something I know, there's something I realized. We can do good, for sure, in private. We should, as much as we can. We can even hide our businesses as much as we can from everybody else, right? Because the ayn is real and all these other things. But one thing I've learned, and bifadlillah, having good companionship, some brothers, you know, will encourage you upon the khair, is that sharing some of these things, wallahi, you don't know that this may be the good that you're doing, that Allah will accept, that will get into Jannah. Why do I say that? A person may do one good deed,
Right.
The Salaf, they will say if they know that Allah accepted one good deed from them, they're happy.
But here's the thing, bro, right? There's certain things I can discuss without getting emotional. Then there's other things, bro, if I talk about it, man, khalas, I just become, 6'3" baby, bro. You know what I mean? And when you understand, when other people see that the impact that you always wanted to make on people's lives, when you see that and you hear someone else telling you, just feel like, subhanAllah, like this is what you always wanted to do. Somebody else knows.
Allah.
And they're acknowledging it.
Yeah.
So, and a brother hate crying. I'll keep saying that, bro. But, sometimes you in the midst of doing so much, you don't really get the time to reflect on the impact that you're making. Because I move so fast. And like for the last 2.5 months, I've been in the house just with my family. I haven't been going out much, So I've been in my own zone, and finagling and doing business. And then I come out, I do a couple of podcasts, and I come out with my brother, and you just touch on things that I'm like, what? I did that. Like,
may Allah make you exemplary. And this is what I want to get out of this, akhi. To be honest, I want us. It's not about the good that we're doing that we want to expose. But sometimes a person may do the khair in the open, intending for other people to see the example and follow in that gut.
Yeah.
Imagine we have more entrepreneurs, whatever line of business we're in. We're not just thinking about the dollar and the dirham.
Right.
Because that's the risk. It's written, like you said earlier, we're going to get it anyway. What if there's a bigger purpose and a bigger goal to what we're doing?
Right.
Do your business, but do good in doing your business.
Yeah, you got to mix that in there.
You got
to mix that in there.
Because we're working for the akhirah.
Right.
Nah, it's nothing wrong with just purely buying and selling to make money, earn halal, take care of your family, give sadaqah as much as you can. Nothing wrong with that. But what if there's a higher level to all of that? There's a brother I just interviewed recently. You know him, Amir. You know about I'm sure you probably know about his project. If you know Loon, right?
Of course.
His project Paid Meals. We dove into the project, again, similar to this. There's a business aspect to it. At the end of the day, we all men, we have families. We got to earn to take care of our families.
Right.
But when this thing that you're working on transcends beyond you and your family, and now you're thinking about how do I take care of other people? How do I impact other people?
Right. Yeah.
What's greater than that?
Yeah, because you have the money to do it. It's I'll give you an example, right? I'm just giving an example. You have the money, right? And so little things you look at, like a man, he has the money. This is advice to any entrepreneur. I think we have a habit of saying, I have the money, so I'll do this and that. If it's monetary, I'll do this and that later. We had I see people saying they pay the employees late, let's say, for example. And after they pay the they don't pay the employee, like they know the employees, they know I'm good for it. They know I'm good for it. What people tend to, I was that employee before that you're paying late.
Intentionally.
And it's intentional when you just say, I have the money, so they don't have to worry. They know I'm good for it. Pretty much. You pay the person on time because you don't know what remittance she has to send back to Uganda or Philippines and it has to be there on the first of the month when she's supposed to get paid, for example. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that, the money causes you then to become arrogant.
Yeah.
And I brought that story up because it's a true story, because it happened within my family where someone paid one of the maids late. And I'm like, you got the money. Why pay the maid late? Because she has the money. That's why she paid her late. The maid, you get what I'm saying?
I get it.
The maid doesn't understand that, though.
Right. She still has the right to be paid on time.
Right.
Right.
Even though you know you're good for it and the maid likes you, whatever, you gotta pay her on time. It's these little things I think that we forget. And I think once we come to Allah gives us a different level of consciousness, we start looking from the Joe Harry window, from the outside looking in, and we start seeing those little things that we need to tweak to make things better, you know what I mean, in our lives. And like something like that happened within my family, you know? So I'm like, nah, we can't be doing this because I'm a part of this. If you get what I'm saying, as you start maturing, and I think it's as a Muslim and just me as a man, I think I look at every little thing that can hurt me in my religion. Pay the man before sweat dries.
Yep.
You get
For
what I'm
my
saying?
religion. For my
So
religion.
if it's anything that's from the religion, I try my best to try to harp on it.
And just to add to that, like as entrepreneurs, we understand sometimes running a business, sometimes you will run through cash flow issues. Sometimes you will be delayed, right? Right. And that might mean paying your employee late, but not intentionally.
Right. Not
and
intentional.
you have to make all the effort possible to pay them. It happens to me in my business sometimes where, you know, the money from, let's say, Stripe goes into a different account. And, you know, we have to move it from that to another account to be able to make, you know, things happen, right? And then that's not to excuse it. Like, do your best as much as you can to make sure these don't happen because it's the rights of the people. But just to, as an entrepreneur, if these things happen, or as an employee, sometimes you understand it may happen. But again, because our religion teaches us to pay the worker before they sweat dries, we have to make the effort to do it. Because that plays a role in the barakah for your business. The more you do things right, the more you do things intending to please Allah Azza wa Jal, always reminding ourselves, I'm actually doing this to please my Lord. Right? And then when I do that, not only Allah will be pleased with me, but also my business actually will succeed, which is what I'm seeking. Because there's no other way. As a Muslim, there's no other way. If you're serious about making hijrah and gaining financial freedom, stop waiting and start building. Coding for Hijrah gives you the tech skills to land a remote tech job or launch your own business, all for the price of a daily latte. Learn full stack development, AI, no code, and UI UX design fundamentals with a Muslim community that shares your vision. The first 100 students get in for a very, very special offer. Trust me, don't miss this. Click the link in the description and start your journey coding now. Now back to the podcast.
I have investors. And these investors, I have about $2 million in investment money. Inshallah. But my assets that I have are worth more than that. So let's say something happens to me. I have enough assets to cover my, I don't have any debts. I have no debts. I only have investors' money that we've been building, what we're building with, right? And I said, man, if something happens to me, the biggest fear in doing business, I'm always thinking about that. This year is probably the last year I'll accept investors.
SubhanAllah, why is that?
Because I want to give everybody their money back. Take your money back. I have always operated every business I've ever created. I did it with cash, no money from banks. Even all my other businesses, except this one, did I get assistance with investors. Even for this one, I didn't ask for investors. We were already rolling without the investors. But I like to run businesses lean and with no debt.
But investment, I mean, obviously there are different types of investment, but I'm sure the one that you're referring to is
Subleasing.
Yeah, but the investment part of it, it's not debt. They are buying equity into the company, right?
No, nobody gets equity in the company.
So
these are group investors.
Okay, so how do you structure your investment?
Okay, so they give me 100,000. Let's say, brother, for example, brother wrote me yesterday, "Hey, I want to invest 50K with you." All right, cool. He's going to get up to 30% returns on that 50K.
Okay.
1 year. Right? So he'll get dividends every month.
Okay.
He gets dividends on a monthly basis up to 12 months, and then we give him his capital back.
Okay, so he got his capital back and he got his returns throughout that year. What happens if there's a loss?
That can't happen. That has never happened. in the history, you got to be really stupid. And I hate to use that word. That never happened in the history of subletting.
Let's say COVID was to hit tomorrow and everything got shut down.
That's the only thing that I think about. And then even it's pretty much recession proof, because where do people go when COVID hits?
So they have to live
go
somewhere.
down. The living expenses have to go down. They're not working anymore. Landlord doesn't want to hear it, so they have to go to cheaper housing. So they come to us.
I see. Right.
Also, landlords are going to give you a break in the rent. They're going to hold the rent for this amount of time, and then you're back on again. You see?
Right.
So the subletting, I always say subletting is one of the most recession-proof businesses that you can go into. And even underground, you and me, we sublet together. I'll sell you my lease. Outside, people won't buy leases. They're like, buy a lease? You like selling it like it's your apartment. No, I'm selling the lease to him. He's going to make the money off of it. The lease will keep continuing until he doesn't want it anymore.
And you take it back.
You either take it back or you just close it with the landlord. The landlord can't kick you out. A landlord can't kick you out of a building unless you're not paying.
Right.
You get me? So when people say, what about the landlord doesn't, what are you talking about? The landlord doesn't want you anymore. He can't do that. The law in Dubai states that the only way that a landlord can kick an individual out of an apartment, let's say, for example, is if he sells it, they're selling it,
right,
or the person doesn't pay rent. It's the only way.
That's
but
beautiful.
for a building, well, you could be in a building for 10 years.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So I have a building, for example. I just finished renting it out. It's at 100% occupancy right now.
How long about
it? I'm just giving an example. A guy who knows the business and he sees what the bottom lines are, he's going to come in and say, look, I'll give you $700,000 for the building. And that's how you sell them. But my point was, when the investors come in, we're not only liquidated, we don't only have liquid cash, but we also have all these properties.
And that's how you're making it.
Yeah, so
you're giving me game here, because obviously I'm in the same space. I'm not doing subletting, right? We're doing short-term rentals.
Right.
But let's go back to the structuring the deal, though, because that's so important, right? And from even an investment perspective, right? I want to learn a lot from this.
Right.
So you're saying that you structure in such a way that it's a yearly contract between you and the investor.
You and the investor.
Yearly investor. That's new to me. I never heard this before. This
okay, so the investor comes in, right? It's hard to get money from people without giving them back gifts in this day and time, because COVID is still fresh on people's mind. People don't like to invest and not feel like they have a guarantee, right? So we guarantee that you're going to get your capital back, right? Now, we know we may only get a percentage off of that money. We're only going to make a little bit off of your money, right? But if I got $4, $5, $6 million, a small percentage can be $100,000 a month. You get what I'm saying? Right. It's a volume business. I can afford to give you your money back at the end. I can afford. Why? Because that property is going to make your money 2-3 times.
Over that period of 12 months.
Over the period of 12 months. But you're not going to stop. I know you're not going to stop after 12 months. It's going to be probably 2-3 years you're going to go into it. Yes, I paid you all the money back, but I built an empire by this time.
And you're willing to extend that investment after the year?
You
keep the 100K?
You want to extend it, extend it. You know why? I'm going to tell you. There's people saying, why are you giving so much? Oh, my intention when I was doing it was to help people get wealthy and show them how to get wealthy, and don't do like a fund manager would do, who he's making 7-8% a month and giving you 3%. And then saying, well, I swear we can't give you more than that. He's making more than what you're making off your money, and your money's at risk, right? With us, how can we give a guarantee? We know when we go into a building, we know the business. We know that this is going to make money. When we go into a business, we say, okay, we go into a certain neighborhood, it's going to take a month to rent this up. It's going to take 2 months to put this at 100% occupancy. We know the numbers that well. The only thing that's going to put a hindrance on us is if Allah brings COVID, if COVID comes back again, or if something drastic, something drastic has to happen, So that's the only thing you pray for. But for me, I feel we've made enough money now. Just start paying the investors back. That's how I feel about it now. There's no need to continue to take investors' money unless I have a project I can't finance on my own. If I can finance it on my own,
Do it
I don't know
yourself.
why bring them in.
Okay. Jazakallah khairan. So for those who are interested in investing, okay, or those who are interested in investment for their projects, for both sides, right? Because it's a partnership. What would you say is a good return on investment on a yearly basis, percentage-wise? Like, what if I'm looking to invest, what kind of numbers should I be looking out for that would be a good deal? And if also I'm taking investment, what kind of returns should I be willing to give up that would be attractive to my investors?
10% is attractive because let's look at industries, right? When you look at the real estate industry, on average, it brings you're going to get 6 to 8% returns. Real estate industry. The majority of the people do not buy their homes cash.
Right.
They buy them on mortgages, right? So I'm saying it's relative. They buy it on mortgage. So the person who bought the house on mortgage, his return is only 4.5% on average. This is not for me.
This is statistics.
This is statistics, right? So 4.5% returns on a person who has bought a property and financed it through the bank. That's normal for them, right? So when you're talking 6, 7, 8, 10,
Correct.
It's great returns. People might get greedy and say, well, I know about this. That's not a guy will give you 100,000 and say that 10,000. He says, look, you say, well, on that 100,000, you're probably going to get about 10,000. And so that we don't fall into riba, it has to be 2. Like my contract says up to 30%. Doesn't say I'm going to give you 30%. It's up to 30%.
Right.
And we see how the project is going. It's going slow. This is how much we're gonna give you. And once it hits full peak, that's when we give you the full amount.
So the guarantee is not there unless we hit that.
Unless I hit that.
Right.
You know? But with yours and what you're doing, man, Airbnb right now is only bringing in 12% in the UAE. That's what people are really getting on average. 12% returns. Wow. Right? So if a person has to put in and that's putting in $200,000 furnishing the apartment, and then you get in. Come on, everything that you see, I have. I bought it from cash flow. I didn't buy it from profits.
How about it?
It's all cash flow. Because if I have, listen, let's look at it like this. How much does it cost? And I hate to go on the sidebar, right? How much does it cost to live like a superstar in the UAE? Honestly, I can drive 2 foreign cars and live in one of the plushest areas in the UAE in a villa for 60,000 a year.
Dirhams or dollars?
Dirhams.
Wow. Huh?
2 foreigns. Each car costing me 10 and 10.
Okay.
10,000 a month and 10,000 a month. You're talking Benzes now, right?
Right.
The house will cost me maybe 30,000 dirhams a month.
Right. So 60,000 a month, you live off of that.
60,000, you're living like a king. You look like you balling.
And we're talking about that's not even, that's like not $20,000.
It's maybe 16,000.
Wow.
$16,000 a month. So, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't get overly impressed when I see people with this or that here, because I know most people finance their lives away.
Right.
You know what I mean? But really, when you look at it, this is all it costs to live in a place like that. Why did I bring that up? Because my cash flow makes it look like I'm living an extravagant life. But to live an extravagant life is very cheap in the UAE, contrary to what people think.
Right.
Cheap to us as
entrepreneurs. Yeah.
You know what? And and we can get other people. I can get somebody else to this point in a year and a half to where I am in 18 months.
I'm interested in having
get them a couple of villas, get them a couple of apartments. Say, okay, this is what you do with your cash flow. Every time you get your cash flow, do this, and this. He's good. He's good because this business allows you to have the confidence, to move with the confidence that as soon as I get this property right here, we're going to start making money because it's going to start renting up immediately. I've never seen a shared accommodation, a business that we do. I've never seen an empty apartment. Even when it looks like it got rats in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, and you asked me, did I hit my sweet spot? Of course, I hit my sweet spot because I run this low-income business like it's a 5-star hotel. So I'm building a brand.
How do you do that?
Because I'm the only person that have private and cleaners come in and clean apartments for the people.
For the guests staying
For
there?
the guests that stay in there. We use the best beds. We use the best, everybody has, let's say if it's a bed space, everybody has curtains. If it's the all-women's accommodation, you have fine mid-level furniture in there, big screen TVs, nice bedroom sets, nothing normal. So that just puts me up head and shoulders above the rest of the people who say, no, put this in there. Pretty much, that's all they deserve.
It's good enough.
Nah, you don't deserve. That person you think is 1 star is 5 stars to me. Everybody deserves, I believe that those people deserve clean, affordable, safe housing. Period.
That's the humanitarian side of things.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. And this is, anytime I challenge anybody to go into one of my properties when it's dirty and then go see what else the people are living in. Go into mine when it's dirty. Wow. And you'll say it's clean.
Still better than the other.
It's still better than everything else.
I mean, I've heard stories, subhanAllah. Yeah. So, Akhi, barakallah feek, at this point, for anyone who's interested in what you're doing, your business, what are the opportunities available with you?
There's 2 things. I have a community, a subleasing community that they can join. It's a paid community that they have to go into, but it's worth it because once they pay their fee to get into the community, we can work something out where the fee that they pay to come into my community can be put toward investing. You get what I'm saying? So in the end, it's almost like they didn't even pay to come into the community because what they've given us, we turn that into an investment. Investment money for them. So they can come in, they can learn through the community where I'm teaching subleasing from A to Z. They can also come out and, talk to me. We can do a Zoom call, or they can come and talk to me about, how they can start their own business. The only requirements we have, if we help you start your business, we have to manage that property. That's all we ask for, you to teach you this game, because it's not easy. And if we're the property manager of the property, it's you're just sitting at home collecting money, passive income on a monthly basis. So we provide that as well. I don't advise people just starting out to do that because you are putting your capital up. You don't get your capital back.
Right.
Not like if you invest with us in a group investment, your capital is guaranteed. When you do that, you're going out on a limb. Whatever happens,
you're taking the full risk.
You're at the mercy of the market.
Okay.
You take the full risk.
So about the community, is it an online community that people can join?
It's an online community.
How do they find that?
They find it. It's in my subleasingdubai.com. It's in my IG bio. It's in my TikTok bio. Okay. They can just click on it and register for the community.
Awesome. We'll make sure we share that.
It's not fluff. It's a real community where you would really learn the business.
Is it hosted on School or any of these platforms, or your own private?
It's going to be hosted on School as well.
Allah about it. Yeah. Okay, we'll make sure we share those details with you.
Sure.
And as far as getting in touch with you for, let's say someone who wants to start their own business, is there like do they have like a consultation service where they book you, or do they just reach out to DM you?
Yeah, they can we can come on as a consultant, and they can contact me through my phone number, which you can leave at the end of the podcast, as well as all of my my handles on social media.
Mumtaz. Okay. Inshallah, we'll do that bi'idhnillah azza wa jal. Look into the future, right? For you as an individual, and for what you're doing, where do you see yourself in your business bi'idhnillah azza wa jal in the next 5 years? And what's the bigger vision and mission out of all of this?
We're now working on building our own property, our own G+3.
MashaAllah.
So this is how I've always envisioned scaling any business. I've always wanted to go through the business knowing that in the end, I wanted to do the epitome of real estate. The epitome of real estate is real estate development, building your own properties, and either selling them or holding them and renting them, right? And I'm there now. So in 12 months, I would say approximately 12, 13 months, we went from no villas to now building our own G+3 residential building. So that's scaling.
That's the vision for the next 5 years, is to build that up.
The vision for the next 5 years. You want to be where DeMac is at. You want to start going into that direction now, buying plots and building, commercial, mixed use properties, commercial and residential, on these plots of land. So this year, I wish to, bi'idhnillah, I can I would like to do 2 new properties of my own this year. So we'll buy the land. I have a young Emirati guy that I trust very much, that I'll be doing business with. We can he'll be able to buy the land in the places that we can't buy it, and then we'll build on those plots, inshallah.
Inshallah, tabarakallah. That's a very ambitious goal, and definitely, being in this space, that's got to be the goal. If your goal is not the end goal to be able to build yourself, then you're selling yourself short, and your vision and your mission, I would say, is not where it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, I understand also, right? I've said this before. Now at 53, right? At 53 now. This is the time of this is not from me again. This is from studies. This is the time of my life where I'll make my best financial decisions. From the ages of 53 to 55, you make your best financial decisions, right? I think I spoke on Sam's podcast also. That's why the average millionaire is 57 years old.
Wow.
Right? You don't usually become a millionaire until the average millionaire is 57 years old. It's either 57 or 59. And it takes you about 30 years to become a millionaire.
Wow.
Right? So people have to put that in perspective.
People think they can be millionaires overnight.
That's not, Zuckerberg is, these
are the exceptions.
These are exceptions, man.
Yeah.
They're exceptions.
And you can count them. It's a few of them.
Yeah, there's a few. And then you look, in America, they have 22 million millionaires. Right? In America, I was just looking at a piece. They have 22 million millionaires in America, meaning 1 out of every 15 people is a millionaire in America. Right? I have a problem with that, right? Because the majority of the millionaires in America, they're laden with debt.
Interesting.
They're laden with debt because that includes also their house. So if I bought a house 20 years ago and now that house is worth $1 million, and you take away my debt, they're counting that as an asset that makes me a millionaire. So I have a problem with those kind of studies.
The statistics, they're a little flawed.
Let me tell you. The best millionaire to me, and anyone that's wealthy, they did it without taking interest from a bank.
For sure.
That's creative.
No.
That's creative. No. If you can, I think Ben Gatti here in the UAE, that's why I always support him. I heard the story that when he started out, he would not take any interest or bank loans.
How did he build in there? How did he do it?
I don't, cash, maybe borrow money from people, and like I did. I always tell people, say look, my cash was able to get me to a certain level. My investors' cash was able to have visions of DeMac, becoming like DeMac and Ben Gatti.
Right. You
see? And when you have investors that believe in you, like for example, this year, I think we're up to about $2 million in investments, right? If I can raise $2 million, I can raise 40.
For sure.
Why? When people begin to trust your brand, and you're bringing back returns, anything you ask for, you're going to get it. Because all people want to know is that, am I going to get my money back? And will I get returns on a quarterly or monthly basis. And after that, the sky's the limit.
How do you deal with I'm prolonging a bit here, but I'm learning and subhanAllah before listeners, but how do you deal with hasty or impatient investors?
Oh, I know an investor who's going to give me a problem from the beginning.
SubhanAllah. How?
I have about 30, maybe 30, 35 investors right now. And there was one woman I knew she was going to be a problem. I knew she was going to be a problem. She got into a jam on her own, and I wanted to help her out of the jam, but she started to make it my problem. I had nothing to do with the problem. I was just like, I'm going to help you, sis, just out of kindness. And she started making it my problem. I had to back off. Because I knew that she's a firecracker.
How do you identify these people from the beginning?
I can see after all these years of dealing with investors, you can pretty much look in their eyes without them saying something. Nope, I'm not dealing with you. Or I do have some rules. Like it may be, it might offend some people when I'm doing business with the brothers. If they're not praying, I kind of like shy away from it.
Oh, for sure.
I a lot of times won't do the business with them.
Right.
Or if I do something and something happened, I say I deserve that because I knew I broke one of my cardinal rules.
Right. You mentioned the prayer. Are there any other reasons why you will turn down an investor?
Yeah, like investors who sit with me and they ask certain questions where these questions are probing questions, where these questions seem more like it's not only a probing question, but it gives off a negative energy, right? And all my investors, all 34 of them, we all have a good relationship, and it's positivity that goes, when we talk, it flows. If I talk to you and that conversation is not flowing, and I'm feeling like every question you asking me, one of your eyebrows are raised, I'm gonna stay away.
The moment you sense
that you sense it, that money is not good money. Because you're honest and you're going to do honest business.
Right.
But this person, a lot of times people are not looking for the good that you're going to do for them. They make you feel like you'll be working for them, and I'm not an employee.
SubhanAllah.
And as soon as I see that you're going to treat this investment like I work for you, I'm done right there. We don't need your money. And never have I called an investor a second time, ever. I've never called an investor and said, we spoke. Like, are you going to invest with us? Not even made a hint. Not even sent anyone a text message saying, we had a conversation last week. Why? Because I've never called investors. No one has ever seen me put a video where I always say this, asking for investors. People see what I've asked for them to come check out my community to learn, but I've never asked people for money. We've never done that because we never had to. People saw that we were successful and they wanted to give us the money, and it turned into something bigger than I thought it would turn into. But I never ask investors.
I think that's a very powerful thing, actually, because me being in the same position as you, right, working with properties and working with investors, one thing I did say to myself is, I'm not going to convince anyone to invest. If I have to convince you, what do I mean by that? Obviously, I want my work, I want what I present to you to either convince you or not convince you. What I'll do is I'll give you the best proposal possible, right? I'll show it to you. I'll shoot it to you. We don't even have to have a conversation. Take a look at it. Does it resonate with you? Tafaddal. It doesn't? No problem. Do you have any questions? Ask me. No questions are welcome all day because I learn from it, right?
Right.
And even those probing questions, I love them because what it does is, first and foremost, I learn from it. Secondly, it tells me who to put on that side of not interested list, right?
Right.
But I don't try to sell anyone my projects by meaning like, okay, calling you, texting you, let's talk about it. No matter how close we are. And I think, same thing you're saying. Like, see what it is. If it's good for you, you believe in it, you think this is worth your investment and you love the possibilities, marhaban bik. If you
So,
don't,
the investment for me, right?
Mhm.
Again, at my age, I deserve peace.
right.
You know what I mean? And one of the things that I will not, and I've had this happen, one of the things at the beginning when they ask particular questions, right? Doubting this transaction.
Mm. The
You're not
legitimacy
coming
of
with good intentions. You're not, that it's, you either don't want to do it or you're looking for every reason not to do it. Why not look for every reason to do it?
Mm.
Because I never said that first, I'm not a salesman. I'm not an agent. And you came to me. Every investor that I've ever dealt with, I never approached them.
they come to
You
you.
came to me. How are you going to come to me
Mm.
and dictate terms?
No, it's not.
You can't do that.
Right. Negotiate, no problem negotiating, but you can't be dictating
I'm going
terms.
to tell you this. You don't even have to negotiate with me because everybody's contract is the same.
Allah,
Every single
beautiful.
contract, nobody changes.
Same here.
The lease
But-
everybody gets every year is about 30%. No one can ever say, he only gave me 27. You either got 30 or more, all of you.
Even though the contract says up to 30.
If you go and check out his, he's going to say, nah, mine say the same thing as yours. He just gave me more. You know, so once you're doing something like, you're running your business like that, I think, you always playing on a level playing field. So when you get somebody you think they're going to cause a disturbance to your business, you never allow them in.
They're not worth it.
No, it's not.
Not all money is good money.
Not all money's good money. I had a guy yesterday, man. I never would think he was working for me, brother. They're having problems in his country. They were having a war. So they kept him here in the UAE. He couldn't leave. He couldn't leave the UAE because he couldn't go back to his country. Right. And so I gave him a job. Hey, take the job. Brother, he had like 7,800. He took the money and spent it. So I called him, like, what happened to the money?
This was your money.
This is my money.
Oof.
He was collecting rent from me, from one of my properties. And he just spent the money.
Wow.
Brother, he's religious. He's everything, right? But he did that to me. The reason I'm telling you that is that most people don't even come like him. They don't even come like him with his type of adab, wa akhlaq, his mannerisms and things. They don't come like him, and he did that. So we always have to be cautious of who we're doing
for sure
business with, and somebody, I'm doing business with him if he's collecting, and I trust you. And this is the thing. And so the way that I did with the point I'm trying to make is that I allowed him, and I didn't really know him very well, to go out and collect money from me. I never probed him. I never said anything. Okay, I see. I take it for what it is. You get what I'm saying? And
would you say that was a mistake though, from a business perspective, from an entrepreneur's perspective?
I'll do it again.
Why?
Here's the thing for him. Everybody I spoke to, I said that knowing him, what he did by taking that money, whatever the problem was he had, was greater than the punishment that I could bring to him. You get me?
I get you.
And so you start wondering, what was it that made you so bold, me knowing that you're a pretty religious person? And the person can say, oh, he's not religious if he took money. Religious people take money. Religious people steal. They smoke. They do a lot in all different religions. We're not just talking about people in general. They appear to be very, very good, but they do things sometimes that it's not.
They commit sin.
It's not appealing. You know what I mean? And they make a mistake. Right. I'll say a mistake. Because we make every excuse for our brother, right? But he took the money. The first thing I thought about is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam questioning Zayd and how he never asked Zayd why. When I'm talking to people, I always do that. I don't want to. You never want to ask a grown man why. Why did you do something like this, right? I had to ask him because I pray next to you. Brother, what happened? Why did you just take the money and spend it? And whatever it was, he couldn't tell me. You get me? The words couldn't come out to tell me. And I didn't get mad. I laughed. I said, there has to be something here. Like I said, whatever it was, that the hardship that was facing him, it was enough for him to lose his job, lose the apartment that I was giving him. It was worth it to him.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
So you need to find out what it was.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? And so I didn't tell him at that point, you're fired. I just said, look, you have to move from this place to another place. But before this is all said and done, I need to sit, because I might say, yo, it's all right. He might tell me he did it and this is the reason why. Bro, you were dead wrong. My lesson would be never to put money in your hands again, but there's a reason you did this. I need to know why you did it.
Right.
And
right.
a relative could have been dying and he has proof of it.
So.
He may have been faced with going to jail and he had to pay it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
In my situation, the relative would have died because I'm not going to take money. And I'll go to jail before I spend someone else's money. In someone else's situation, there's a saying that I remember about 30 years ago. When a man is faced with hunger and cold, he forgets about his Lord and loses his soul.
Oof.
You know? And in these situations,
you
test us, man. Sometimes we get tested and we don't pass the test. So, but anyway, I'll find out what it was.
Yeah. But I mean, the lesson there is, again, like you said, one is from a religious perspective, alhamdulillah, we make excuses for our brothers.
Right.
We don't encourage bad behavior, but we make an excuse until we find out what it is. And, again, a person like that, especially now in the situation, I will not put money in your hands again because I cannot encourage and allow that to happen again. But at the same time, I'll be merciful to you and kind and understand what happened.
Right.
What I just told you out in the cold,
Yeah, exactly.
So, exactly. Your entrepreneurial journey and your hijrah journey, it's been a long one. May Allah increase it, bless it, and make it even longer upon ta'ah, upon khayr. For those who are in the beginning of the journey, who are just starting out, or who are even thinking about it, right? Or who are struggling, like being in the situations that you've been at some point, If you could go back to your younger self in this journey, what kind of advice would you give yourself?
For myself, sometimes we break before we bend. There's only one way out for most people. And that's back to what we know. You can't skip bending and bend first, then break. Some of us just break and we leave. I've seen too many brothers give up on the hijrah. Two things happen when you give up on the hijrah, in my experience, right? You go back and for years you say, I want to come back. I want to come back. This is all I hear. For years, the brother say, I want to go back. I want to go back, man. Never saying I should not have left. I want to go back. The second thing is that you lose your wife and your kids.
SubhanAllah. Yeah.
Being on hijrah and going back does that to brothers. I've seen brothers, sisters take off hijab and the kids go out and get pregnant and sons are listening to rap music. And I've seen it with my own eyes. I have not seen one person go back and make hijrah and you don't recognize them. The next time, I don't recognize who that
Something
person
goes
is.
wrong.
It's not the same person that I knew, because the West, anytime you're outside of the Muslim world, okay, you can be doing things here in the Muslim world, right?
Right.
But you're still constantly reminded by the adhan alone. It's the least.
SubhanAllah.
Right? Outside of the brothers that's going to correct you. But when you're in America and that organized confusion, being clean is doing dirt.
SubhanAllah.
You get me?
Yeah.
You can never get away from that place. You're going to end up working in a place that's full of mixing and things like that. So you're going to fall victim to that, the work environment, talking to people you shouldn't be talking to, talking about things you shouldn't be talking about. The temptations that lies just in a job alone is enough for me not to want to go back there. The temptations just in the workforce. Why would I go back to a place like that? Why, So that has kept me, even from then. People think like this whole thing that's happening now. I saw the implosion during September 11th because I left right after September 11th. I knew the place would never be the same again. So I knew the fix was in. So talking to my old self back then, again, bend before you break,
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't
Don't
give up
give
so
up.
easily.
Don't give up so easily, man. You got to be resilient, and you'll be here where I am,
And this
content.
applies to both hijrah and entrepreneurship.
Hijrah and entrepreneurship.
Brothers, if you've been planning hijrah but still haven't pulled the trigger yet, this is your moment. Hijrah Con 2025 is a 5-day retreat in Medina and Mecca for 50 serious Muslim men who are ready to act. You'll get a full hijrah blueprint from seasoned experts who have made hijrah to different Muslim countries bi'idhnillah. One-on-one mentorship from us and a fully guided Umrah trip together. And you'll be a part of a brotherhood that lasts beyond the retreat bi'idhnillah. Only 50 spots available. Apply now. Link in the description. Barakallah khair. Jazakallah khairan. A lot of wisdom, akhi.
Last thing, Sheikh.
Sure.
Tawakkul. Tawakkul. Oh, it gets tested here.
SubhanAllah.
Your tawakkul gets tested. Your faith in Allah gets tested on hijrah. And going back home, if it's not for medical reasons or something that was life-threatening, then you failed.
It's a good point, because a lot of people actually, and we had another episode where we spoke about this deeply, a lot of people coming overseas, there are sometimes 2 things that contribute to their failure. Or 3, I'll add one more.
Right.
One is that they come with their own requirements. That's one of the brothers mentioned.
Yeah.
Can't come with your own requirements.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The second one is they come with certain expectations. Right? Now, these expectations may be that some people think they're going to come and live among the Sahaba.
Yeah.
Right? They think the Ansar are way. Right? Also contributes to failure. And the third one I will add to that is people come, and something you mentioned earlier, SubhanAllah, that was so powerful, because I haven't heard anyone say this. And I believe that. And I say that, and I learned that going to America because I was born in the US, right? My family, my parents went there. Immigrants, when they go, what do? You said it earlier. They work.
Right.
They work where they live.
Right.
So a lot of people come with the mindset of, I'm going to go.
And if it doesn't work out.
Yeah. Or the moment I use up that 10K, 20K, it doesn't matter, because I'm just going to go back and make it up again and come back. Go and come back. So from a financial perspective, look, hijrah costs money. That's what it is. But then again, where you live now costs money anyway. No matter where you stay on the face of the earth, you're going to have to earn to survive. But now if you come out to the Muslim lands, know that your rizq is with Allah Azza wa Jal. Upon you is what? Take the asbab. So what's the difference between taking the asbab in New York City or in London or in LA, or taking the asbab in Dubai or in Medina or in Cairo? Asbab or asbab. But sometimes people come and they're not ready to get down and dirty and put in the work.
Right. Absolutely.
So
I agree with you.
These points, I believe that, for the aspiring muhajirin, something to take into consideration.
Definitely.
Put your tawakkul upon Allah Azza wa Jal.
Right. And for those who are here, like brothers I've seen that have gone back, a lot of them, unfortunately, that I've seen, they're very arrogant.
Yeah,
they're very arrogant. They're very arrogant. And if someone were to come and tell me this brother's going back, I can see that. I can see that.
Because they were not willing to do
Some
the work?
people can be on hijrah for 15 years and not have the attitude for hijrah.
Right.
Because they walk around with options. You come on hijrah, you don't have an option. There's no option to go back home.
SubhanAllah.
Make this do. It has to work. You get me? I've seen brothers come over here and try to run business for 10 years. You're not a businessman. You're not an entrepreneur. Some people are employees. I've seen a lot of brothers have to go back because they come over here and they can't adjust to the way business is done here.
Yeah.
they've done it back home, but they're not able to adjust to the way business is done here because it is done differently. And there are cultural aspects to business. You have to be a chameleon, right, to fit in.
Right.
And sometimes brothers don't fit in when they come over and they make excuses. Oh, it's not working. And it's everything else except them. They don't play a role in what has happened.
In the breaking, pretty much.
Some brothers need to go and get 2 jobs. Just go work 2 jobs. That's what you're good for.
Yeah.
That's what you're good at.
Isn't that what people are doing back home?
And there's nothing wrong with it.
There's
nothing wrong with it.
It's honorable if you have to.
That's right. Just work 2 jobs, but you just happen to be working 2 jobs in the UAE or in Saudi Arabia. But you're making ends meet and you're not going back to a filthy place.
SubhanAllah. And you know, SubhanAllah, I'm just thinking like, we've been at this for hours, and we can go on for hours.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would love our visitors to have part 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10, bi-idhnillah azza wa jal, really, because there's so much we can talk about that beneficial for us first and foremost, bi-idhnillah, and benefit, those who are listening, bi-idhnillah azza wa jal. I want to shift to Brother Ja'far for a moment, but before that, I do want to make this last point here for those who want to come, and everyone should want to come and make hijrah, every single Muslim. To the point that the brother just made, you have to come willing and ready to do whatever it takes, knowing that there's no going back.
There's no option.
Like one brother mentioned again on one of the episodes, he said, it's like this is the moment when you cross the bridge, but you burn the bridge because you're not going back. You're not burning it because you're giving yourself 0 option of going back. So, and sometimes that may look like 2 jobs. That may look like a failed business. That may look like doing low-level jobs. But you always have the position to what? Join a community that will teach you how to do something else, learn new skills. I came out, like I told you, earlier, I wasn't a software engineer.
Right.
But after I made hijrah, I had to figure out. It has to be something has to give. So I became a software engineer. You know what I'm saying? You have your community teaching, the real estate. One of the things that we're doing as well is that the same journey that I followed, me and my partner in software engineering, we started a program online. Now we're teaching people to become software engineers.
Right.
Become a software engineer. Follow the same path. Learn to code, build your own products, get a job, start an agency, do whatever. But if you're not willing to learn skills, the brother right now who set up this whole thing beautifully for us, taking care of all this beautiful content, Jazahullah khairan, he had to pick up these skills.
That's right. Brother Sufyan.
And now, this is what has happening. Right? No, really, and maintaining the hijrah, because what you going to do? What's the option? Go back? That's breaking.
It's not an option.
That shouldn't be an option, because have the tawakkul, know that your rizq is with Allah. Alayka asbab. Take the asbab, put your trust in Allah. And you said something earlier also, you made a lot of dua. Make a lot of dua. Rectify your relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal. That's for me, first and foremost. Knowing that if I fear Allah as He ought to be feared, and I do my best, I stay on top of my obligations, and I put my tawakkul upon Allah Azza wa Jal, how can He leave me alone on my own without taking care of me? One of the Salaf said, the one who takes care of the monkeys and the pigs, he won't take care of me if I obey Him. Right. This is having evil thoughts of Allah Azza wa Jal.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So Barakallah Feek, I want to go back to Brother Ja'far, and inshallah we'll close with this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a brother, rahimahullah, who passed away a few weeks ago, and I learned this through Idris, Jazahullah khairan. And these are some of the brothers that, for us coming from the West, that made hijrah like you a long time ago, bifadlillah azza wa jal. And Brother Ja'far's story is a beautiful story.
Right.
And I didn't know the full story I heard about him. By the way, I never met him.
Mm-hmm.
Never met him, never spoke to him. But I had heard about his story from one of the brothers. What a beautiful story.
Right.
Then recently when he passed away, Idris actually shared the link of one of the talks that the brother did at one of the masajid in New York, where he's telling his own story.
Right.
In his own words of how his life before Islam, which was a life of fame and money and, but he accepted Islam. Allah got him to Islam. And subhanallah, it changed him. It changed his life.
Yeah.
And what did he end up doing? Making hijrah. I believe that since he left, from what I heard, never went back. I mean, like never went back to live. Not like didn't go back for needs, but he never went back to live.
Yeah.
And he made hijrah. I don't know which countries he went to. I know he ended up in Saudi Arabia, and he passed away in Saudi
That's
Arabia.
away in Saudi.
Rahimahullah.
45 years old.
What a beautiful. We ask Allah to accept it from him. You know, and make him from the people of Jannatul Firdaus al-A'la. But the thing I want to talk about, right, and we will share bi-idhnillah azza wa jal. Sufyan, we will remember to share the link to this talk that Brother Ja'far gave, so that people can hear it, right, and hopefully take benefit from that. We'll share that bi-idhnillah azza wa jal. But what I do want to talk about is something you also alluded to earlier, which is something that needs to come up in these conversations, not just on the podcast, but in the private conversations as well often. We all have to think about the fact that one day I will not be here anymore. What's next? What happens to my family? What am I leaving behind? For me personally, this is one of the things, Akhi, that drive me. This is part of the fuel that make me, I don't care if I gotta be on the plane for a whole month to move around, to do what I gotta do, because I think about one thing. Just like Brother Ja'far made hijrah, was striving for sure for his family. But one day, the time came and he passed away, rahimahullah. What happens now? He left a family behind. I'm gonna one day lay down and die. And possibly, if my family doesn't pass away before me, I'll leave them behind. I'll leave potentially behind wife, children. And I brought these people out of the West,
right
here. The last thing I hope and ask Allah to safeguard all of us and our families is for them to go back. But if we don't put in the work today,
that's right,
and we leave behind children,
that's right,
and women, what's gonna happen?
Hey man, Akhi, that's so difficult. One of the things I always say is that I hope I never leave either of my wives in a situation where they have to get married.
SubhanAllah.
Right?
They have to.
They have to. If I'm dead, they have to get married.
Powerful.
Because it's the only option that they have to survive. The reason why I go so hard now, because why am I getting into real estate development? Because I know once I start getting into building buildings, this is generational wealth now.
Sahih.
One building can take care of my family yearly without them. No one, every child and my wife, one building, getting rent from one building can take care of them. So every time I build a building, I'm thinking that I've just secured my family's future for the next 30 years. Because that's how long my lease is.
Powerful.
You know, so a lot of brothers, one of my best friend, Tariq al-Harith, he died in Saudi Arabia as well at 41 years old. You know, and he didn't get to the, beautiful brother like Jaffa. You know what I mean? So when you think of brothers like this and you think of the situations that their families are in, and we know them to be trying brothers. We know they try.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
They did the work.
Yeah, they did the work. We know that we need to work harder when we see this. We need to work harder. We must work harder. We must leave something for these families, because what are they going to do? Go back to America? Go back to
the West and put their hands out to welfare?
And then what? You know what I mean? And the kids are ruined after that.
Yeah.
The kids will be ruined. So I pray that Allah will continue to keep me on this trajectory. Keep me with who's to say how much tawakkul I have, but I would like to say that I have all my faith in Allah. I don't worry about much. It's always with Him. And that tawakkul has to come with me moving towards something, right? It's not, you can't have tawakkul and just sit around and everything will be taken care of. No, I'm doing as much as I can to secure their futures as well as ours.
No.
Because we may live here and be on Hijrah until we're 85. We're not getting any Social Security or pensions from our countries. We will have to live off the fruits of our labors in our old age.
Right.
And again, that's me in the mind of thinking like an immigrant who goes to America and he gets big. I thought like an immigrant when I came to the UAE and I got big. You know what I mean? Also, with the help of Allah Azza wa Jal and trying to correct myself with Allah, I was able to do some decent things here. You know what I mean? But I truly believe that we have to change our mindsets, man, when we're living over here in these lands and stop feeling like we're privileged because we're from the States. You know, I think a lot of people have that. Y'all be able to find a job, but they need English teachers. Like, that's an insult to me now. No knock on English teachers, but I don't want to hear anyone ask me. I've taught enough English in the Middle East to know that I don't want to see another classroom.
And if I may add to that, not to divert from the point about the brother and us thinking about ourselves as well. These countries they have
Right.
trained their own teachers from their own people.
Right.
And now in the age of AI,
yeah,
you can't. That's not what you're going to depend on.
You're right.
You know, it has to be something bigger than that.
You're going to be moved out by hook or crook.
Yeah.
Because with Saudization, Emiratization, what they call it, Qatarization, they're trying to move their own people into these positions that Westerners were taking and occupying and bringing in their own people. And
which makes sense.
It makes sense. And you have some brilliant Arabs. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Some smart people. So we know that, in my opinion, I look at some of the especially the people coming out of some of these Arab countries, they're very well equipped to take, things to the next level when the torch is handed to them.
Right.
So what's the need of Americans in this menial role that we really play here? If someone tells me we're playing a large role, I'm like, where? That an Indian can't do the job you're doing. Tell me where. For less money.
And he'll deliver more than you.
Exactly. And he'll work harder than you and be more dedicated.
Complain less.
Show me one position. And people can say, well, cultural, this. No, you're here now because they don't mind paying that amount of money to have you around. You're decorations now.
SubhanAllah.
You're only decorations. The day is going to come where they're going to say, look, we're spending too much money. If AI doesn't take your job, someone from Asia is going to take your job because they're willing to work harder and smarter
and they
for less money. And they, so
SubhanAllah.
Come on,
SubhanAllah. Barakallah fi. Going back to Brother Jafar. Again, rahimahullah, rahmatan wasi'a. And the brother you mentioned, I forgot his name.
Tariq al-Harith.
Rahimahullah. This is a very, very important point to discuss, right? Us as we work, as we really grind, right? Thinking about our families and, like you say, even our future, because we in a foreign lands. That's really what it is. But now thinking about the brothers who have passed away, there's other brothers as well. There's a brother who passed away in Egypt. Sadly, his families had to go back, right? A lot of people didn't even know about it. So from the community perspective, especially, the Salafi community, the Muslim community, the entrepreneurial community, right? What are we doing for ourselves? Because, whatever you put forward of good for yourself, you find it with Allah Azza wa Jal. And also, we want to, by taking care of others in these situations, we're taking care of ourselves, because one day it's going to be, we're going to be in a place. What are we doing as a community, as entrepreneurs, as people who ascribe to the Sunnah, to make sure that when a brother passes away, his family is taken care of? They don't have to go back to the streets of New York, the streets of Philadelphia, or wherever they came from.
I think that a brother will get in touch with me because I'm a point of reference. A brother will get in touch with you because you're a point of reference. But we don't have an established community or an established group of brothers. Like, we're not in a masjid, but there's an ashura of brothers saying, okay, we have sisters over here that needs money. We have $20,000 every month to get to Sadaqah, to these. We don't have that. There's nothing set up. Everything is sparse, right? So when a sister says she's going to make hijrah, your reference is, let me call Haytham and ask Haytham, does he have a house? But that's all I could provide. You get what I'm saying? She also needs money.
Right.
She also needs other resources, in that we don't have anybody else that I say, well, this is all I could do is give you housing. You know what I mean?
Why is this? And again, why is this entirely?
Okay, I can answer that. I know why.
Because right now,
Because
fresh in my mind, sorry, Akhi, fresh in my mind is the brother Jafar. Because
Right.
this just happened.
But
and his families.
That's a good question. It's a good question. Look, the African American in general, he's the most disenfranchised individual probably in the world. Right? No one with that kind of financial power like we have. I think what they say, if you put if you put all of the wealth that we have together, we'll be like the 16th most richest country in the world or something.
And that's just the African American, not including
the African American GDP.
Crazy,
right? So many statistics that are out there, and what we do a lot with money, not with each other, right? And we're disenfranchised for reasons we're not even going to go into that. And when will we start franchising and galvanizing? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in America. You get me? And it's not. It's a concern of mine, but it's not the first thing. Not the first priority on the list, because I'm not there. But I care about my people, and But when I was there, I didn't see. I left. That was one of the reasons I left. I didn't see and now 23 years later, I don't see any progress. Right? But we've never been a folk that has gotten together and produced what? What? Tell me. Anything significant outside of rap music and entertainment. We've done a lot of inventions and stuff like that, and we can come up with a lot of that. But building institutions in America, we haven't done that except the church, right?
Which is a failure.
And we haven't built anything in America. What makes you think that the African American is going to go across seas, and then actually galvanize overseas?
But we have not a community of practicing Muslims.
We got communities of
we're coming together for business now. What about from a community perspective, though? Like a brother just passed away. His children need tuition. Right. His wives need to, probably pay rent. They're probably thinking, like you said, I don't want to leave a wife who has to get married. Like, if she has the right to get married, she should get married, but she shouldn't feel like she has to, because she otherwise will end up on the street,
or need to keep her hijra alive.
Right.
So she's like, well, I'll just marry a brother here, so I can keep my hijra alive and put food on the table. It's halal, but it's those premature thoughts that the woman will have because the community is not taking care of her.
Right.
So she gets to a point where I have to do this.
Right.
And
she may have to settle for anything.
She has to settle for anything. I didn't even want to say that.
Yeah.
That's even going.
Because again, her getting married, no problem. Get married, but you need to the right brother. Right. The children may need, they need a male figure. They need help that you as a wife you can't maybe. But it should not be because you're struggling and you're desperate.
And we're not talking about our brother. We're not talking about our brother Jaffer. We're just saying
yeah, exactly.
Just in general.
Exactly.
And you and I have both seen it since we've been on the hijra for, where we just can't get together to buy a piece of bread for anyone. We just can't do it. And then I see Idris, and may Allah
bless him.
May Allah bless him. He's constantly trying to get, come on.
Yeah.
He's constantly trying to raise, I think it was maybe $2,000.
Yeah.
And all the brothers who knew Jaffa knew his story. He was a beautiful brother. And that's including me.
No.
And no one has put up the money.
Like $2,000.
It was $2,000.
That's something that we should be struggling to come up with.
One person should have came and just put that up. But we don't have that. We just a disenfranchised folk. And I just pray, and I'm not going to say just the African American in America. I will say anyone that falls between that low to middle income bracket in the States. They're the I hate to say this, they're pretty much the lost souls in America, the people that everyone forgot about. And those people are the people who you would find in any land to be disenfranchised.
Allah understand. So I mentioned, the brothers specifically, and those who have passed away on this hijrah journey. to remind myself and us as a community that we have to do better, that we have to, Jazakallah khair, that we have to do better. We have to start thinking far. We have to start thinking, we have to start caring for our wives and children and ourselves, truly. And I hope that someone or some people will listen to this and start asking themselves this question: what are we doing? What are we waiting for? What's the next step? Right? Like, let's do business, but let's also do community.
Right.
Genuinely, let's be like the Salaf, because that's who we ascribe to. Right? When you say you're upon the manhaj of the Salaf, you're ascribing to them. The first thing they did when they came to Medina, the Prophet ﷺ made that brotherhood between them, Ansar and the Muhajirin. They took care of each other. They cared about each other. If somebody passed away, they took care of the family. They cooked food for them. They took care of them. Maybe we're not in the same city where the brother passed away, but we can send a few dollars. You can send $50. You can, if you don't have it, $2,000, no problem. What you got? 5? Send it.
Send it. That's right.
What you got? Imagine all of us, and I hope, and I want to put something here on this video. Like, let's put some money together for these families. Let's do that.
I was going to say something to you. I was going to say, look, man, we're talking about it. It's a challenge between you and I to start that community. You know what I mean?
That's
and
literally why I'm bringing it up.
Everybody plays a role in that community, and they stick to it.
No.
You know, there's a lot of us that do have the finances to be able to help. We can't help everybody, but we collectively, we can do something. And then we may have someone else who handles just the foot. Okay, my role is to make sure that if there's sisters out there, brothers out there, and they need finances, once we find out the reason why and we do our investigation, right, we have the money to give to them, right? Someone like Jaffa, none of this should even have gotten out, because guys like you and I should have known already. Say, okay, what do they need? 5 other brothers we have with them, look, they need this for the next 6 months. Don't ever put out a GoFundMe for them.
No.
You know what I mean? It can be possible, and I'm happy you brought it up. It's not something that I've thought of. I know I can handle the piece with the women. Another brother handles a piece with something else, but together we're a collective body of resources.
And we spend a lot of money every day. Many of us are drinking lattes. I'm not saying nothing wrong with that.
Bro,
we're eating out, and I'm not saying again anything wrong with that. But when it comes to putting our resources together for the sake of Allah to benefit a family, especially a family that's made hijrah, that should be a no-brainer. Like, look, I'll skip my lattes for the next 30 days.
Right.
No problem.
Right.
I can skip having dinner out with my family, with the brothers, for the next 2 months. But I want to make sure that family, bi'idhnillah, in fact, not only, like, they don't have to worry, because they know there's a community here.
Right.
And we don't have to be in the same place, because that's another problem. Like, we think like we all have to be living in Sharjah or Dubai or the UAE to be like, no.
That's a group. That's a WhatsApp group.
Exactly. Like,
that's we can, group.
The brothers in Cairo, in Medina, in Sharjah, wherever you are, we can come together. It's easy nowadays, alhamdulillah, to send funds to do these kind of things.
Right.
To anyone.
Right.
So we have no excuse. And again, I won't even put this out until I speak to the brother and ask, mentioning Jafar in the story, or at least if it's okay, if it's appropriate. Otherwise, I won't put it out, right? We will cut it. But if it is appropriate, like, I want us, like, I'm mentioning that story just as an example, because it's the first one. There's a brother who passed away in my neighborhood in Cairo. Okay, I was not there, I was traveling. I think I was in the UAE.
How old was he?
Well, I don't know, but he was an older brother, had 2 wives, had, like, I think up to 10, 15 children, right? Allah Mubarak moved to Cairo, set his family up beautifully. I saw his apartment after he passed away. This apartment was for rent. I saw how he hooked up the kitchen. Beautiful. Duplex. He passed away. People in the neighborhood didn't even know. One brother from my team called me and said, Fulan passed away. I said, we're going to do, like, figure it out. Like, the janazah, boom, boom, everything that needs to be done. We got to take care of this right now. But Okay? طيب, Ikhwa took care of the janazah, did everything, alhamdulillah, rahimahullah. You know what we forgot? Is to deeply go into the matter and say, okay, now what about his family? Not just for a few days. How do we make sure, bi'idhnillah azza wa jal, that this family, this rent will be paid? That they'll eat, bi'idhnillah azza wa jal. Until Allah azza wa jal brings another solution for them.
Right.
We're the solution. We what they got.
Right. For now, right?
Yeah, why we're not doing that? And we don't know. This may be the reason Allah puts barakah.
Yes.
In what we're doing in ways we could never even imagine.
So.
And I know, I'm confident. One thing I know is that, bifadlillah azza wa jal, there are brothers and sisters out there that are willing, able, and looking to do these things. But also, they have to be informed. Even the informing, like, how many people are doing what Idris is doing? Jazakallah khairan. Not many.
Right.
You know, and sometimes that's the failure. It's not that people don't want to do it. It's not that they're not willing, because this community, the Muslim community, Allahumma barik.
Right.
But if people don't know how they're going to do it, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, inshallah, we're going to take this conversation off of, you know, the podcast, because this has got to keep going. There's a lot of work that we have to do, right? Business-wise, community-wise, you know, hijrah-wise, the muhajirin, you know, so much we have to do. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to grant us tawfiq and make us sincere.
Amen.
You know, and grant us really tawfiq to be able to do this for ourselves. Amen. We're not doing it for somebody else.
Amen.
وَمَا تُقَدِّمُوا لِأَنفُسِكُم مِّنْ خَيْرٍ فَتَجِدُوهُ إِنَّ اللَّهِ. Whatever you do of good for yourselves, you will find it with Allah Azza wa Jal. You know, the good we do is for us, not for the recipient. It's for you.
Sahih.
You know what I'm saying?
Sahih.
What's your parting advice on this episode? Just, every Muslim, you know, general advice for anyone who watches this. I know you already gave some advice before, but I want to get more out of you.
I would just, what I had mentioned earlier in our journeys, whether it's on the hijrah or whether it's business, everything goes back to Allah Azza wa Jal. And as long as we have tawakkul, and we just have faith that something is going to, you know, things are going to happen because Allah is going to make them happen. And it's in His time, not in our time. And I think a lot of times we give up. Whatever's written is written. But I just think that we give up prematurely a lot of times. And I think that we just need to be a bit more resilient and a bit more patient with Allah's decree, and we'll get what we need. We just have to be patient and waiting for it. And you may suffer while you may suffer while you're waiting for it. But I always say that the journey is actually better than the climax.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
And the second thing to add on to that is that, bro, get through it, because you always have a story to tell. You always have a story to tell. Everybody has a story to tell. And I believe the more you've gone through, the more interesting you are.
Jazakallah khairan, akhi. I have nothing to add to that. I'm going to wrap it up there. Really, it's been a pleasure. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless you in ways you couldn't even imagine. Put barakah in all your efforts in your family. Grant you khair fi dunya wal akhirah. And make you exemplary for the Muslims. And I can't wait for part 2, 3, 4, and 10. We're going to have to do this over and over and over, inshallah. You know what I mean? Jazakallah khair, Habibi. Allah fadak, Allah fadak. It's truly, I've gotten to know you more today, and I'm so grateful for that. Can't wait for so many more opportunities to do this.
Inshallah, man. You know, always give my brother, I love you, bro. So always give my brother the opportunity, man, to sit with me.
Allah fadak, Allah fadak, man.
Not like I'm anybody. He's the man. I'm not the man.
Allah,
you know, but it's great to sit with you, brother. You know, anytime you call me, I'm like, what's up? What you doing?
I appreciate you. Well, no, that's true. I've never hit you up and you left me hanging.
No,
for years. May Allah bless you and increase you. And increase you in ways you could never imagine. Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah.
Hayyakallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.